Alrighty, what's up, everyone? Let's kick this off. What? I think my computer's working. It is being weird today. There we go. Alright, what's up, everybody? I apologize for missing last night's stream, which is funny enough because I'm actually more tired today than I was yesterday, but I really did not want to miss 2 streams in a row, so I was thinking we'd just chill out. Here. Angelic Flambe, what's up? Thanks for coming online. Welcome in. But yeah, so like I was saying, I apologize for missing last night's stream. I was cooked, and then today I'm even more cooked because we had a massive 4th of July party up at my church, and I was up there literally all day supervising the kids, making sure they weren't going too crazy on the water slide, and just I am so cooked. So I was thinking about giving Hackbot the night off because I didn't want to just work on it for one night and then go cycle onto something else. What's up, man? Just getting started. We're coming in and I'm trying to decide what to do tonight. I thought maybe we would have a little bit of a chill night. We'd hack around, we'd find out, maybe do a couple of CTFs and just have some fun with it. So I brought up the Crucible, but we could also go do like a Hack the Box or a Try Hack Me. Personally, I'd prefer to do something over on the Crucible, but I know you guys are all sadists and you take complete joy in my misery, so y'all probably will want to go for like Hack the Box or something. using you as my exposure into CS. Dude, I got a funny story for you, Angelic. So all of my, so a little bit of backstory on my college time. My degree is actually in math, and I hung out with a lot of the computer science and the physics folks. I was double majoring in math and physics. I ended up dropping the physics portion to graduate a year early because I had gotten engaged. I wanted to go ahead and just be done with college, start working to support my wife. Well, it was funny because I took a bunch of IT courses while I was doing that, and I was working in IT all through university. So talking to the computer science professors, and they knew this about me, and they're like, "Don't feel bad," because they wanted me to come over to computer science. And it's like you're basically doing applied computer science when you're doing IT. You can think of it like the difference between basically math is to IT is to computer science what physics is to math, right? It's the application of the theory to it. I want to stream some Linux boxes, but don't want to embarrass myself. Tommy, dude, don't. I get on here and embarrass myself all the time. Do you have one you were thinking about doing, Tommy? Maybe we can go hit it up tonight. I got the test box up. I'm gonna make it dealer's choice from the chat tonight because honestly, I'm cooked and we're just gonna have some fun tonight. I do want to work on Hackbot, but I don't want to work on Hackbot for one day and then go on to it some more. I'll probably work on the browser integration for Hackbot a little off stream, but it's getting to be where it's been be a pain, and I'm just baked out of my skull. I was out in the sun all day. I'm surprised. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, I think you can even see a little bit of the red in my scalp here from being outside. Never done them? Dude, I'll tell you what. That sounds like a good place to start, Tommy. Let's go find one real quick. Let's see. Should we do Hack the Box or try Hack Me? I tell you, we've been doing a lot of try Hack Me, so let's go. We'll go pull up Hack the Box real quick. Let's see. Log in. Where do we want to log in? The CTF. Let's go find us a good Linux box real quick, and we'll go just try and knock one out. Let's see. Wait, did I log into the wrong one? I did log into the wrong one. Hang on a sec. Let's see. I gotta remember where to go log in for all this stuff. I think it's labs. Take my PI exam next weekend. Ooh, nice, man. Hey, Ford, what's up, dude? HackTheBox recent Windows releases have been ADCS heavy. Cool. Very cool. Let's go tell what. Let's find a. Let's go over to machines, and we'll check retired. And let's see if we can find some that specialize in Linux here. Let's see. Which one do we might we want to do? I tell you what, this one looks like it's a fairly well-known one. It's an easy one, so actually this will probably be a good starting spot. And the reason I say that is because I can give you a little bit more enhanced understanding of how it's going to be working. How do I gotta get reconnected to the VPN.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Frozen, you are so full of crap and you give me trust issues. I just want you to know that. What's up, man? Let's see. Let me go download my protocol here. And then let me get that set up over in the lab. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Hang on one sec. I forgot to set up the iPad mirror real fast. And happy Sunday, Frozen. Yes. I'm so baked, I'm missing like my standard greeting. Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you all had a fantastic 4th of July, and the number of digits you have has remained stable throughout the whole weekend. Let's see. Here it is. Let me get this just set up for diagramming purposes later. There we go. All right, let me get close that. This up. All right. Where's my... Let me go FTP over to this thing. There we go. Copy that over here. Let's kick this sucker up. Get some T-Mux going. We blow it up. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Let's open VPN into this thing. Oh, I gotta sudo that. What the heck's the password? What? No.
Incoming transmission from Frozen_Fusion 2.
Thank you for the pity, Frozen. You know I appreciate you, boo. Alright, let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. Let's rename this window to our VPN so we keep track of what it's doing. And then I'm going to just go ahead and sudo up in this biz. There we go. And then let's check and see if we're... Forgot they took out IP. Let's just double check our tunnels up. Ooh, it is. Awesome. There we go. Let's go ahead and spawn the machine now. I tell you, we'll go ahead and do guided mode for a second, so everybody can get an idea of what, basically how it walks through. I prefer to do the guided mode on CTFs just because a lot of times they are a lot more puzzle than they are reflective of real life. You can learn really amazing things from a CTF, but they don't necessarily propel you for pen testing really well. And so in fact, I'll kind of demonstrate this while it's booting up here. So typically what happens when you're doing a penetration test, or actually when you're doing a CTF, is you normally just have one target over here, right? And so this is our target, and you have two objectives off this target. You want to get user level access, and then you also want to get root level access. So that's always the goal of every box whenever you get into a CTF, is these two things. You have one target, and you always want to root it. Now, the problem is if you apply this same logic to a penetration test where you may have hundreds of boxes, right? And you think, okay, well, I've got to go root all of them. That might not be what you need. You might just need user level access here. And then that user level access gets you something to where a completely different disconnected box can get you root access. And even that might not be necessary. This user level access might just give us user level access to something that's like our high value target here. So one of the things that the CTFs don't do very well is teaching you about basically pivoting through a network. How to take it from the idea of I must compromise and root every system to I need to just get the level of access I need to achieve my target objective. And maybe, heck, even root access down here might give us the access we need up here. There's usually multiple paths to take through all these systems. And CTFs don't do a great job of being reflective of that. So I do like them. I think of them more as like Sudoku for hackers. And so they're fun, but I don't really enjoy them so much. I have real Sudoku if I want to go do something. Let's see. Oh, good. Our attack box is already up. Let me copy that. So let's go do a real quick check on it. Let's just do a good old nmap scan. That is not what I wanted to do. What's the IP address? 10.10.11.221. 11.221. We'll just see if it comes back. Okay, cool. Came back. We've got good old-fashioned 22 and 80 sticking up in here. So how many TCP ports are open? Let's go try it. We'll just say 2. There we go. All right, what's the name of the JavaScript file loaded in the invite page? Okay. I mean, this is a good thing to do too. We usually just go pop up our browser. I don't have Chromium installed in here, do I? I don't. Hang on, we gotta fix that. Update. App install Chromium. Yes. Because I cannot stand Firefox's developer tools whenever I'm trying to... Wait, did it not install? This is an old VM, so we might just have to deal with it. Oh, I know what it is. because this is an old VM, it has some really old, weird repositories. Let's see. Sources. Let me go change that. Because for some reason, it always wants to default to this FTP Halifax. Hang on one sec. Let's see. Kali apt mirrors. Dude, Kali did change their signing key, didn't they? Ooh. Let's see if we can just change it, and maybe we're not going to have that issue. I forgot they did change their signing keys forward. Let's go try it real quick here. Get all this out. We'll try it again real fast here. We'll see what happens. God, GPG error. Okay, hang on. Kali update signing key. Let's see. Download the new command. There we go. At least it's a one command update here. There we go. Now let's try an apt update. That didn't work. Well, you are rude. Yeah, they just did this a little while ago. Oh god, quit highlighting stuff for me. Wasn't that what we just ran? Let's see. Kali archive ring GPG. Actually, don't we have to install that GPG key after we get it? Or is that all we need to do? Let's try it again. Oh, no, there we go. I guess maybe I had fat-fingered it whenever I copied it. Yeah, right now I'm running on pure caffeine. I saved it throughout the whole day, too. I just suffered in the heat, getting dehydrated, rehydrated when I got home, and then caffeined up before the stream. Let's see. There we go. Now let's install Chromium. So, there we go. Because, like I said, I cannot stand Firefox's dev tools, so anytime I'm doing anything web-related, I usually want to do Chromium. If it gets real deep in web, which I don't think this one will because it's an easy box, we'll go pop up Burp Suite also. By the way, there used to be up on... Actually, you don't even need that anymore. I'd say if you're not familiar with how to use Burp Suite as an intercepting proxy for doing offensive web stuff, just go check out the Port Swigger Academy. Let's see. Port Swigger Academy. Yeah, here it is. Which is really great because not only do you get exposure to how to use Burp Suite, but you also get exposure to understanding web vulnerabilities. Do you recommend HackTheBox for entry-level users? I would say HackTheBox has gotten better, but actually, Angelic, I prefer TryHackMe for if you're very new and if you don't have a lot of IT experience. So TryHackMe if you're a little bit of a beginner. Get it tight. Right. There we go. TryHackMe was really designed more as a learning platform, whereas HackTheBox originated as a capture the flag style platform, and they have added stuff onto it. So they both have a lot of overlap in how they're approaching things now, but TryHackMe's original focus was in rooms, and in those rooms it was to teach you a certain concept. They've got lots of learning paths in here. So TryHackMe is actually the one I prefer if you're brand new. Yeah, I'd say if you go through TryHackMe and you're finding it too easy, you could probably go jump over to HackTheBox. But really, once you get to a certain skill level, it's just kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You could pick whichever one you prefer. I kind of, right, for most of the testing we've been doing for the AI hacking bot that we're building on stream, I'm doing it over on TryHackMe because it's a little bit more controlled. HackTheBox would work just fine. That's what I really chose to do. All right, let me go fire up some Chromium. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Good. It didn't finish the install. Rude. I'd say really, Angelic, the main thing you want to focus on when you're first getting into cybersecurity is you want to focus on understanding how the technology is working. Because I'd say better than 95% of what I do is abusing configurations in systems or misconfigurations, however you want to look at it. Because a lot of times it's a default configuration and they're default auto-magically helpful. That's the way I like to phrase it. And because they're auto-magically helpful, you can often, from a security context, abuse that to get it to do less desirable things from a security standpoint. Hey, Bobby, happy Sunday. What's up, my man? We're just going to hack around tonight. We're going to hack around and find out. That's what we're going to do. There's Chromium. All right. Let's go open this website. I think it's 10.10.11.22. Ooh, it didn't. Oh, okay. We got, so you can, and I can't zoom in on this, but it's trying to send us to 2million.htb. And in fact, here, let's do this. We'll do a curl with attack V, and we'll go to, and this will show you where it is. So we'll go to 10.10.11.221. There you go. So see right here, it's giving us a 301 saying, hey, we're going to kick you over here, and we're going to 2million.HackTheBox. Well, we don't have that entry in here. So what we're going to need to do is we'll go put that into our host file. Oh, that is not the correct file. Hosts. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll just come and add that in here. So let's open this up. So we give it whatever the IP address we want to do, and then the host name here. 2million.HackTheBox. 2million.htb. 2million.htb. There we go. And now, instead of doing a DNS resolution, we'll just resolve it from that file there. Now let's refresh this. Hey, there we go. All right, so what we're seeing here, if we gotta go around, got a bunch of stuff in here. We could join HackTheBox. Let's try that. All right, so we need some kind of an invite code. So here's our invite. And the next question was, hey, what's the name of the JavaScript file loaded by the invite page to do the invite codes? So let's go inspect that real fast. If I can load this up. Let me turn this bookmarks off. There we go. So one of the ways I like to do this is I'll come over to, you can either go read the source here. If you want to get an idea of like what's in the entire program, you come over to sources and you could literally look like these are all the ones that get loaded up right here. But they want to know specifically what gets loaded for this one. So if we look down here, usually you'd see those up in the head. You'd see a bunch of script links. They've done it differently here though. They put it down at the bottom. So what we have is, we have HackTheBox front end and invite API min.js. And we've got some other little JavaScript here that's going to probably load up that code. Yeah, there was a invite system back in the day for it. I wonder if this is like a duplication of that a little bit. What does the curl command do? So curl works just like making, let me scroll up here a bit. Curl is basically going to make a web request however you specify it. So if you don't specify, we didn't tell it to do a get or a post, it defaults to doing a get request, and it just sends an HTTP get request to whatever address you give it, whatever URL. So it connects, you see it does a get HTTP, puts in a couple of headers, and then we see the response here. So the right arrows here, that means that's data we're transmitting. The left little angle brackets here, I mean, that's data we've received. So we received a 301 saying, hey, by the way, this page has moved, and the location header tells us where it moved to. So it moved to 2million.HackTheBox here. So it's a quick and dirty way of just making a web request without using a web browser. Yep, and you can get crazy with it. If there's ever anything you were curious about how to do with curl, some Linux Greybeard probably has something over on Stack Overflow about how to do it. let's see. So I think for this one, what they're wanting. Let's see. So actually, let's kind of read through what they're doing here. So they're going to document ready. Looks like they're using, what's that? What's the name of that library? I'm trying to remember. Drawing a blank on it. I can think of it. jQuery. They're using. It looks like this is jQuery just from looking at the how everything's flowing through here. I could be wrong, but this looks like jQuery off the bat. So what they're doing is you're posting to API v1 invite verify. So see this, right? Oh god, that's terrible. This is where it's getting posted to. If the response equals 200, then it's success. If not, and then we set the invite code, and then we're going to go to register if it happens. So that's where the letter. So probably this invite API min.js is what they want in here. Let's do invite API min.js. We'll just try this out. We're just going to have a chill hack and stream answering questions tonight. All right, what JavaScript function on the invite page returns the first hint about how to get an invite code? Well, let's go look. Let's see, I don't see anything in here referencing a hint, but let's go look at this invite API real quick. So hop over to sources. In fact, let me do something. Let me pop this out. Oh no, that's not what I want. No, where is it? Hang on. Oh wait, it's over here. There it is. Let's pop this sucker out so I can look at it a little bit. Let's see, what do we have in here? We have replace. Oh, so not only did they minify it, they also obfuscated it a tiny bit, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Let's look at the front end code here real fast. Ooh, that's got a lot of stuff in it, but luckily, boy, I don't know how to do this in here without the Control F function. So the problem is this interface, I can't do a Control F. It breaks it because it wants to catch it in this. This is actually a web browser in here. Oh, you know what we can do actually? Copy the URL. And what we can do is we can curl it. Curl this, type, and we'll send this over to, actually, there's a better way to do this. Actually, yeah, let's take a look at this real quick. So I want to show you something. Usually when you see .min.js here, it's just all one big long line. They've compressed it down and taken out a lot of the white space. But you'll notice that looks different over here in DevTools. It's because it's auto formatting it. So one thing we can do is we could save as, and we can just save it to disk, and then we can grep through it in, I think, a formatted fashion. Let me CD to use it now. Is it home Kali downloads? Go over here. There we go. And we can check this just to make sure it actually did do it. Oh, see, it didn't actually save it as formatted. See that? Because it's only showing that there's 4 lines. So if we could less this file, we'll see it's the exact same way. So this is real common whenever you're trying to like look through stuff. Chrome makes it kind of easy. It'll format it like that. Let's see if there's another way to do that. There is a kind of an easy way to do that. Oh, stop. Not want to. Maybe that will save it? Nah. That's again. I'll get you, Tommy. You just save this real fast. There we go. Oh, actually, this does syntax highlighting. Nice. We can even use this. Let's give it a second for the ads to wrap up for everybody who's following along. Oh, look, I called it. jQuery. Nice. Okay, there we go. All right, so Tommy, the WC command is word count. So you have to remember, Linux commands are always named in a way that makes no sense. Usually what you do is you think of the name that you, or the action you want to do. You want to get a word count from a document. Or, for example, ls is even a better one. That's the list command. So what you do is to come up with the name of the actual command line for Linux is you take out all of the vowels. And then if it still makes sense, you start stripping off consonants until it makes no sense. That's how list became ls. Word count, same way, but it's just WC. WRD, C, and T would still be too close, so they just chopped it down to word count. So if you do word count with attack L, like we did there, what that does is tells us how many lines are in here. If we did something like attack C, that's how many characters are in there. So they see there's 145,000 characters in that thing. So it's an easy way to just triage a file real fast, see what it's doing. But news is we have it up right here. So let's search it here quick. Let's see if we have anything for hint. No hint. Let's just go try triggering it then. Let's try invite code. Invite code is let me in. Please try it again. What about open sesame? Didn't like that either. Let's see. What about knock knock? Didn't like that one either. So it's asking us what JavaScript function on the invite page returns the first hint about how to get an invite code. Okay, well, let's go look back at the JavaScript page then. Let's go back over and just look at the elements for this page here. And see if we see anything about a hint in here. So this is the code to actually go send our JavaScript, or to send the post request to the invite verify. Let's see, do we have any other script tags in here? This one. Anything else? Let's see. I don't see anything about a hint in here. Actually, we can go look up the head because there may be things actually in here. Let's see. So if the response is 200, then we set the response, set the success equal to 1, and then we bust out the code. We store that in local storage. Interesting. Response data message invite code invalid. Interesting. Then why are we storing that in here? It's not working. Why would they be checking to see if it says invite code invalid? Let's see. It did say on the invite page, right? What JavaScript function on the invite page returns the first hint about how to get an invite code? This is supposed to be easy. So a lot of these ones, Tommy, they're easy is kind of relative in here. And so we're doing this a lot of the manual way, going through and actually reading through the code on the page, having a lot of fun with it. And I'm doing it that way because, one, I don't want to just go blast it with Burp Suite, look at stuff. Two, this is the way that you do it to understand it, and then you can start working on doing it more efficiently. So I like to have people take the mathematics approach, which is do things the long way and then you learn the shortcuts on how to do the multiplication or multiplication, whatever the function is, right? I remember one time my wife, she was working on learning calculus, and I had already been way through calculus. She goes through, she's doing the very long form of doing derivatives, and takes her about 15 minutes. She shows me the problem. I just look at the answer. I'm like, yeah, that you didn't do it correctly. The answer is this. And she's like, how did you do that in 3 seconds where it took me 15 minutes? I was like, I know the shortcuts. That's it. And it's the same thing here. Let's look at something real quick. So let's see if we can find any information about the hint in here. Maybe we need to go look in the front end. I don't think so, though. Oh, did I not go look in the... Hang on. I checked the invite, didn't I? Let's see. So this just does a string replace. Let's see. Hey, Sin, what's up, man? Dude, Tommy, if you like this style, also make sure and check out Hack Smarter. Here, I'll give him a shout out real quick. Because he's doing this all the time, and he's really good at teaching as well. He goes through and does these. I do them every once in a while for funsies. He does them a lot more frequently. Hack Smarter. Did I? Let's see. I think it's Hack_Smarter. I hope that was the right channel I just shouted out. Yeah, that's him. All right, he's Hack_Smarter. I couldn't remember his username. And watching Shy Hat? Yeah, I don't get to watch Shy Hat very much. I've talked to him a couple times, and very cool person, but I just haven't got to ever watch the streams. This API verify invite code. Do it, man. The main thing that kind of hangs people up when they want to start streaming, Tommy, is they're too quiet. And thankfully, I'm a loudmouth. I can talk all the time. And when I'm coding, when we're working on Hackbot, the stream, you guys on the stream are my rubber ducky. I'm explaining what's going on to you to figure it out. And at the same time, that means y'all are kind of learning as we're going through the process. Stream World of Warcraft? Dude, I was so deep in World of Warcraft back when it first came out. Was that like 2004, I think? Paladin for life, bro. I was a Retribution Paladin, which everyone hated. Yeah. Actually, I started off as a druid, and then I decided that I liked Paladin better, and then it never looked back. I loved my Paladin. I tried to get back into World of Warcraft, but I didn't quite... It just didn't mesh with me. Can I refresh this? Interesting that it didn't cache that. What's weird is I didn't even see anything about a hint in here. When we're looking at this, let me try going back here. Let's see. Not having Control F is brutal in here. Nothing listed as a hint in here. What frequently asked questions? Oh, this is all just single page thing in here. So here's our login page, join page, takes us over to here. Let's go see what they've got with this. This is brutal. So let me do this. What are you doing? That was not what I wanted. You copy this. Let's take this over into here. Window. And we'll go save this. We'll call this, I don't know, just call it Funk. hack.js. So let's take this and let's break this up. So what they're doing is they're parsing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parameters here. So let's go find those real quick. So what they're doing is they're taking this long string here, they're splitting it by pipes. So what that'll do is that will take in a whole bunch of different ones, and then we've got 2 other ones. We have an empty one right here, which is D, which doesn't look like D is even used for anything. See that? Actually, no, we do have D in here. So it returns a blank function. Try HackTheBox for an invite code? Okay, I'll give that a try. Let's go see that. HackTheBox. Hint? Didn't like that. Let me tell you about an interesting hack. I'm currently working to design a C2 implant inject and infect Linux kernel's lightweight tunnel and silently breach data over VXLAN. Dude, that's awesome. Let's see, over VXLAN, GRE, Geneva DNS, HTTP, HTTPS, and separate and spreads laterally. Dude, that sounds very involved. I got initial briefing this year at Black Hat to stop this over DNS, but we'll speak at DEF CON next year, maybe. Nice, man. Yeah, I've got a couple of coworkers going to speak at Black Hat and DEF CON. I wish I was kind of going this year because of that. At the same time, last time I was in Vegas, it was for like 11 days, and that's a long time in Vegas. The CPU usage on this VM is like 50 to 60% just from these particles. You looked up the answer, you think they took it out? Oh, rip. Well, let's go take a look at this JavaScript here then. And this is kind of what I was talking about, Angelic, is that, I'll tell you what, let's go see, do they have like a hint here? Yeah. JavaScript invite API is minified, but you can still look for strings in the code that might represent functions. Open browse DevTools. To better understand the code, you can beautify it with D4JS. So maybe, I'm going to take a look at this. Maybe it's still in here, Tommy. Dude, I think DEF CON's pretty crowded too, Sin. They're both stupidly crowded. I've only been to Black Hat once, and it was the last time I was teaching a course there. And bro, it was mega packed. Let's see. Let's double check something here. Let's see if any of these are red herrings real quick. So we got packed happening here. Actually, I'll show you some cool tricks we can do over in the JavaScript console in the browser to kind of demystify this. But let's see. So does P actually get used in here? Yeah, so P does. What about A? Are we using the AE? Yep, A is coming in here. What about C? We see C is getting used here and here. So yes. What about K? Is K being used? Yep, we've got K being used there. Let's see. E is getting used immediately. And then D is getting the nuts. That's what it's getting. There's D. There we go. So let's look at this real quick. So see how this is all one long string right here. And they've even escaped a couple of these characters, and then they're splitting it by pipes. So if we want to figure out what this is doing, what we can do is copy this and actually take it back over to DevTools. Come over to the console, and we can literally just paste that in. Oh, you're not going to... Yeah, there it goes. Paste. Well, allow pasting. There we go. You know why they had to put this in? Because people were thinking that they had some way to hack into like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, and log in as other people. And they'd be like, yeah, man, you open up your DevTools and you come in and you paste some code in here. And what it was doing was stealing their freaking session cookies and sending it to someone else. And that's how their Facebook and stuff was getting hacked. It was really dumb. There we go. So see how this, now we get a response where we've got a whole long list of objects in here. So really all this comes back as one array in this. So if we look at how this is going, we've got response, function, var, API, v1. If we come look at this over here, I think it was this one. here, we're supposed to be taking in 5 variables. No, what's that? 6 variables right here. So we are taking in a whole bunch, but we're not taking in 6, which is kind of crazy. We're only taking in 3 here. See that? So this actually just becomes one variable right here. It becomes this array when we pass it in. So if we come back here, see how all this just becomes one big array? That counts as one variable being sent to the function. So if we come back over here, so that means all of this gets put into the P parameter. We have 0 kind of coming in as A, and then C is just blank. So that means K, E, and D and all the associated functions to that are bunk. That's what we're doing here. Damn it, Laughing, I'm not pooping, bro. Come on. Kumar, thank you for coming online. Welcome in and happy Sunday. Or Monday, depending on where you are in the world. Oh, wait, that's the wrong window. Hang on. This actually is the min.js here. So like if I go back over to sources, this is from the invite. I just copied it over to a different function over there. Actually, let's take a look at something real quick. So we look at the elements. What happens here is this part. Yeah, so with this defer keyword right here, this means this script doesn't get executed until the entire page finishes loading. But all this down here, this script is for something else that we're going to do, basically for setting up an AJAX call. So it's not directly, I don't believe, just looking at it real quick, it's directly interacting with that. Let's go look at it. So what options do we actually have here? Go back to our console. So we got response function log console. Did we have we do have a URL one in here, and that is the 11th variable. So let's go look at that real quick. Or it's the 11th entry in the array. So let's see. So 11th entry in P. So where does P get used in? This is so weird too. Let me take this back for just a second. Actually, we can even just take that out. That doesn't even matter. There we go. All right, so while C minus minus. Wait, C is coming in as... That's wild. Because C actually should be this right here. Watch, we can test this real quick. So if we take all of this code here, copy it, and we just go basically make a duplicate of this. I tell you what, let's do it this way. Let's take this. Let's see. Let's go back over to Chrome DevTools. And collapse this down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here. We're just going to prep this a little bit. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to have it do a console log P. And what we're going to do is we're going to unpack this real fast. Because all those variables get passed to it when the time it executes. So do E, and then we'll do D right here. Ooh. And then what we'll do is we'll grab this part right here. So the closing statement, where all the variables get passed over to it. Copy that. Paste that in. All right, so P is going to be number 1 here. You know what? Actually, let me do this real quick. Let's modify that a wee bit here. Let's do P. What do I want to do here? That's not what I wanted to do. Under the 19th variable? Make invite code? Nice. That is actually pretty awesome, Tommy. I was trying to see what else it was kind of doing here with this entire thing. Interesting. So what we need to do is, rather than verify invite code, we need to do make invite code. So if we come look at... not that one. We want to come back over to the elements. So this is invite verify here. Let's see, so we get the alert invalid invite code. Let's see, here's our URL. This is invite verify. Let's back to console. So maybe we actually just do have a make invite code here. We do have a verify invite code. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, one of the cool things is, notice how I didn't actually, this is a function, I didn't actually submit anything to it. We actually get the code for this right here, make invite code. And it kind of busted it out for us as a temporary. So it looks like it's going to do a post to invite how to generate. Okay, cool. Let's go run that. Very nice. So running it, real easy. Let me clear this out real fast. Let's see. Data is encrypted with ROT13. RIP. Alright, so we need to DROT13 this code. So an easy one to do that with is, let's go over here to CyberChef. We actually could curl that URL. Let me see how it was doing it real fast. Let's see. We come back over to Dev Tools. So if we look at make invite code here, if you just give it the function name, don't run it, then you actually will get the code back. So what we could do is we could do a post request. It needs a data type of JSON and to here to generate. Actually, one thing we can look at is if we come to network. Let's see. Actually, that doesn't show up in network. That would be that would be too easy. We could actually try curling for this. Let's go try copying it. And what we'll do is we'll just send a paste because it doesn't look like it's actually sending any data with it. See that? Just the data type is JSON. So if we come over here, let's clear this out. Let's curl this. So what we do is we do tac x, capital X, and we tell it post. We want to do a post request. Take this stuff out, and then we just drop that in. So we could do the exact same thing over here, Tommy. We don't have to necessarily, if it needed some extra data in here, we'd have to obviously put it into the command line. But yeah, we could just curl for that also. But why curl for it when we can literally just run the function and have it give us the data back? So we want to copy this stuff right here. Copy. You did get something right. You're doing great, Tommy. And then let's come over to CyberChef. CyberChef have a dark mode? No. Let's paste that, and then let's see if we have a ROT13. Edit. There we go. Make. In order to generate the invite code, make a post request to API v1 invite generate. Which actually, that's kind of funny because wouldn't we see that over in DevTools? Hang on one sec. Let me back this up a bit. There we go. Oh, there was a generate right there. Just like that. And this is what I was talking about. I've never seen anything in a real pen test, and I've done about 150 over the 7 years I've been doing this. where this is the kind of stuff I kind of had to follow through. I've seen some wacky ones, don't get me wrong. I saw one that was a straight up Hollywood hack where it was a very old DVR system for cameras. DVR systems are notoriously bad in security. So it was a DVR system for security cameras. You could literally make a request.
I'm back, baby.
Hey, Dan, what's up, brother? You could literally make a request over to the server to get the user's password hash. Cool. You think, now all I gotta do is just go crack the password hash. No, the way the interface actually worked, you could just send the hash and it would count it as a password. And when I realized this, I didn't discover this. I was reading a write-up on it because I found it during a penetration test. I was like, this is a straight up Hollywood hack. This is that weird shit where you just type in, I'm in. That's exactly what it was. Okay. So now this would be a good example of a time to use curl, Tommy, right here. This is saying we got to send this to B1 invite generate. Baller. Look at that. Oh, you know what? I didn't answer any of the questions over here. What was the function? What was the hint function? I forgot. Make invite code? Turns a hint. Hold on, what was it? I guess it was, maybe it was make invite code. Let me try it. Hey, there we go. Let's see, the endpoint returns code value that is encoded with a very common form. What's the name of the encoding? ROT 13. Wait, hold on. Endpoint returns code value that is encoded with a very common binary to text encoding format. Was it? Base 64. I don't think it was base 64. It wasn't base 64 though. What's the path to the endpoint the page uses when the user clicks on connection pack? Okay, I guess we gotta actually go log into it. So let's go get our, oh, I see. It meant this part. This is base 64. But you know what we're gonna do? Let's check something here. Let's see, tack in. I'm just curious. Did they leave us a little Easter egg? Oh, nothing special here. I was hoping like this was a, why are you even looking at this? It doesn't matter type thing. But I think actually this might be the invite code. So I'm actually glad I looked at that because I would have tried that and assumed that was the invite code. Let's see. Sign up. Hey! There we go. Username. Blaise Pets. Email. Password. Kitty. Nunya at business.com. There we go. All right. Oh man, I gotta remember my password. Weak. Nunya at business.com. Password. Kitty. Remember me. Hey, okay. So that was actually not too dissimilar to the old invite challenge. In fact, it looked like it was like an exact representation of it. All right, what is the path to the endpoint page the endpoint page uses when users click on the connection pack? All right, how do I get my connection pack? I had a web app that had pass the hash like exploit. Dude, and that's pretty much what that was, the that DVR for the cameras. It was pretty much like a pass the hash. It was so bad. Except not only was it a pass the hash, it was one where you could request the hash too. Let's see, access. Connection pack. But let's go inspect this. Let's see, API v1 user VPN generate. I didn't want to do that. Back. Read this. Then I like going through the tasks. How many API endpoints are under API v1 admin? Well, see if we can find it. What if we should have done like a Go Buster against it or something? So we might actually want to go set up Burp Suite real fast. Let me see if I should be on here. Yeah, we got Burp Suite community. Let's make this happen real quick. We'll start up a new temporary project. Start Burp. I think this is the older version though that doesn't even have dark mode. Let's see. Let's see. This version of Burp Suite was released over 3 months ago. Yeah, it sure was. I don't know if you can update from here. Check for updates. Let me see. Yeah, update now. You gonna maybe go download it? I don't feel like updating this VM right now. Now, one of the cool things is I do like using Chromium, but with Burp Suite, now there's a built-in proxy browser. So it automatically proxies through here. We don't have to worry about it. And I can just log back in. And log in. All right. What email address did we use? We used nunya@business.com with the password of kitty. There we go. Save that. Why not? All right. Let's see here. Looking for a job? What do we have for careers? Nothing. Lame. I'm sad they disabled that. Damn it. I'm not hoping. I'm sitting here right on stream. You're abusing privileges, sir. Job offers. Okay, so a lot of these don't even work. Sad. Let's see. But one thing that's cool is now that we've logged into this, we can actually come back over to Burp Suite. Let me see if I can... I have to tell stock all the time. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you. Let's see. User interface. Display. Dark. Oh, they did have dark mode. Yes. Oh, my retinas. Meetings will continue until morale improves. That's usually my thought about it too. Let's see. Configure UI scaling. Scale factor 1.25. Do I have to restart for that to work? I might have to restart Burp for that, which is unfortunate. Hang on. Burp. So I'm trying to make it the text a little bit bigger so y'all can actually read what's going on. One of the downsides to Burp is, unfortunately, I just remembered this is a temporary project. It's not saving the data we're doing. So I'm going to have to bring it back up and log back in, which is fine. Okay, so that did not do jack. No. All right, we'll just bump this up. 16. There we go. 17. All right. Hopefully that should be a little bit more legible for y'all. But downside is I got to open the browser back up and go log back in. Log in. Email. Oh, good. At least it saved the email. There we go. All right. So now what I wanted to show you is we can come over to our HTTP history. We could see actually what it's calling in here. But really the big magic happens over here. So let's add this to our scope. And then when we do that, we have the option to tell it, hey, don't capture stuff that's out of scope. which can be a double-edged sword depending on what kind of environment you're working in. If you're working in an environment where you don't necessarily know what the exact scope is, believe me, it happens more often than I'd care for in a penetration test. This particular web server may be calling out to other web services that are on different domains. They may not be in scope. So this can be a little bit of a double-edged sword. So typically what I'll say is no to this. But I will come here and I'll say, bring this up right here. Where is it? Let's see, show only in-scope items. So I will do that in case I see things. So we can look at our API. We've got stats, we can look at that. We have V1, user, login. Okay, so not a whole lot going on here. So actually, let's go take a look at this. So we know where the login one is. Let's copy that URL. Let's go see if we can do a go bust against the VP. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. I haven't gotten to use fluff very much. Let's go use some fluffs. So fuff is fuzz faster, you fool. Let's look at some of the examples here. Let's do parameter fuzzing, post data. Let's want to do like a go buster style here. All right, so we give it a word list, and then we give it what we want to fuzz with that fuzz keyword right there. So let's see if we have fuff installed. FX. We do not. Next, search FX. We do have that. All right, so let's install that. Install FXF. You can't spell. Install. There we go. And then actually, I want to do one more thing here. Let's CD over to Kelly. I'm going to CD into opt, and then I actually want to go do something. Actually, I don't want to do that. So one of the best places to get easy lists of for brute forcing, for browsing stuff like that, is sec list over on GitHub. So what I want to look for is, we want to do, what was it? Was it discovery? Buzzing? I think it was discovery, and then web content. Yeah, here we go. Discovery, web content, URLs, API. And so we can do like something like actions lowercase in here. And so this would be a good one. So what I'll do is I'm going to just copy this down real fast. So we'll just do it from here. We'll get that. Let me exit out of this one. Wait, Spomch, can you literally just app install seclist? No way. Does it get you like the latest version of it, like straight from GitHub, or is it literally a packaged one they've got? I didn't know you could just apt install it. That's how you do it? I git clone like a champ, like a true gentleman. Thank you, Dan. Exactly. I just go git clone it. All right. Let me get rid of these guys real fast. There we go. So we got actions lowercase. So let's do some fuff. Let's get Fluffy up in here. And then we can do, let's see, what is this, TAC C? Or I guess for content discovery? I'll tell you what, let's just do a TAC H real fast. Let's see what options we've got here. We have a bunch. So, TAC C. Colorize output. That's not what I wanted. That's just color. All right. I'll use it anyway. I do like the colors. And then we want to give it TAC W, which will be our word list. Normally I'd have the word list in their own directory, like in something like seclist. But in this case, we'll get it. All right, so TAC U is the actual URL we want to fuzz. So let's go grab that out of Burp Suite real fast here. So I'm going to take this. And actually, one thing that's cool is, even in this request, I could just copy, right-click and do a copy URL. And that's going to give me exactly what I want. So let's Paste that in here. So let's back it up just a wee bit. We're going to do it here, and we're going to drop in our buzz keyword. I can't spell. It's F-F-U-F. Oof. Oh my goodness, there's so much in here. Tell me, no way, did everything come back? Status 301. Okay. So everything's coming back as a like a redirect. So probably not what we want to do. It could also be that we're needing to, what is this? We need to get some kind of cookie where it can authenticate with it. I tell you what, let's do a sanity check here. So this was a user, and we know from here, there should be a user login, right? And I think we have that in that list we were just looking at. That login's not in there. That's fine. We can fix that. For sanity check. Let's do echo login, and we'll append that over into actions. There we go. Then what we'll do is we'll run this with user. We'll see what happens. So that came back as a status 405. Okay. Nice. Buff is very close to a word that's going to land money in the swear jar. I know, right? Actually, I wanted to have a thing come up where, like, up here in the corner, every time I run the swear jar command, it would pop up with, like, a new digit. I thought that'd be kind of funny. I don't know what I'm at on it. I think it's about 35 or so. So 15 more, got to make the first donation to St. Jude's. Go fuck yourself. I know, right? So apparently, wake up in German is fuck off. And so my mother, when she was taking German, it was very early in the morning. So everybody would just be like, fuck off. No, you fuck off. And the German professor who was German, he's like, I've never heard anybody say that quite so maliciously. Let's see. I'm surprised though that. Oh, you know what we might need to do is change the method here. Let's see. Where can we change the method? Tac X. Okay. Let's try that because actually it was wanting everything as post requests. So let's do that. So we'll do tac X post. And let's see what happens. So that one came back as a 302. So let's try something real quick. Let's curl that real fast. So I'm curious what's going to happen. So curl with the tac X post. Ah, I forgot the tac V here. So where does it move it to? Moves it to 404? Oh, well, that's not good. Interesting. Because I know that we did that. Hang on. How did we do that? How did Burp actually send that? It sent it as a post request here. Rude. Rude. I'll tell you what, let's go try just fuzzing the admin API here. So let's go back to buff. Let's go change this to admin. We get anything different up here? I don't think so. Not seeing anything. Because when we did this before, let's see, where was this? So we did see that login was valid for user. We got a 405. Wonder what it was expecting there. Let's go do something real quick. So one of the handy functions over here is we're going to have a copy of all the JavaScript also that's loaded right here. Wait, you didn't actually load these? Interesting. Home, access. Maybe we need to browse around a little bit. Let's see. Dashboard, rules, changelog, ideas, report. Looking for a job. So a lot of these just don't even work. That's fine though. Hall of Fame, team rankings. Nothing here. Labs, let's see. Access. This brings us over here. What if we did regenerate? Let's see. Delete insecure file. Why not? What if we switch? Switch to this. Yeah. What about machines? What do we have for machines? Active. Nope, just brings us back to access. What about retired? Same thing. So I'm hitting all these because I'm kind of just populating what we want to see over in Burp Suite. New submission, nothing. About challenges. First thing. No. Let's see. Member finder, nothing. Crap, man. Shout box, nothing. Team shout box. Lame. Very lame. Are there really 10 active users on EU3? Really? Let's see. Feedback. VIP slots. Anything else we can do here? View my profile. What is VIP? Doesn't really do anything. All right. So hopefully we've got some stuff populated over here now. So one thing we can do is we come over to search. Oh, search is pro version? Dude. Burp Suite. That's lame. That is lame, bro. Let's see. So we know there was also a VPN in here. We had download, generate, regenerate. And it's not like Burp is very expensive, but at the same time, I feel like a search feature should be gratis, you know? Let me think about this. Actually, let's go take a look at something. So if we add VPN, we have download, generate, regenerate. Let's go look for something real quick. Let's try download from access. So we do have a download in there. So let's go try that real quick. Let's see, was that admin v1 VPN? Let's see. Oh no, so that's v1 user VPN in here. See that? Login, and they have VPN, so it's under user. We can also just copy the URL. We can double check it that way. Drop that in here. That was not what I wanted. Killing me, Smalls. Let's see. Generate. Download. Copy that URL. Drop this. There we go. Buzz. And see here, I'm not seeing download happen. Oh, wait, hold on. Ooh, there was download and generate. So they're coming back as 405s. Nice. Okay. Yeah, it is like $400 a year, right, Dan? I think it was like actually like $350 or something. It's not bad, but also if you're going to be using it professionally and getting a lot of those extra features in it, really, I mean, the main thing that I use it for is some extensions work and saving the project files. That's the main things I need from Burp Pro. Let's see. Let me try admin one more time here. And let's see if we can filter down this a wee bit. The status codes. Filter codes. So you filter HTTP status codes from responses. So I think this is the ones that we want to include. Yeah, actually, I think we want to use TAC-MC. Let's try that real quick here. So let's throw in a TAC-MC, and we want to search for 405s. Coming back. That is unacceptable, sir. Well, what we can do, though, is we can go figure out where this originated from over here in Burp. Let's go take a look at something. Let's look in here. So this regenerate, if we inspect right here, there we go. We're looking for API v1 user regenerate. Let's see. We also have this HackTheBox backend min.js. Let's go see if we actually have that. Hey, here we go. Kind of cooking with something now. copy this. We're done with this other one here. Paste that in. And then from in here, because I can't use Control F, that's been my biggest beat down. So for admin. Nothing coming up in admin for this. I tell you, let's go back to API. Let's start there and fuzz forward from there. So from here, so we'll start with the actual API right here. Because if you see here, what it's doing is we see it making references to like API shouts. So V1 is not necessarily a requirement in here. So let's start from there and see if anything comes back. We got the match code. All right, let's do another sanity check here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in, what was that? It was like machines. There we go. We'll put machines in there. And so machines even came back as a 301. Lame. Yeah, we have like a volume license for it, Dan, which is what most penetration testing outfits have. What do you think? What do I do here? Actually, let's come back over to DevTools. Let's go look at what cookies we've got set. No, I'll close that. Didn't want that. Actually, here's what I want. Let me close this one out, actually. Close you. There we go. I wanted just this one here. Because I was getting confused which version of Chromium I was working in. This is the Chromium actually over in Burp Suite. This is the one that I want. So let's do this, and then let's inspect. And let me bust this guy out to its own window. I can blow it up. There we go. All right, so if we come over to sources, JavaScript, we already looked in the back end here. Let's see, ping machine, set diff, clear bin diff. Actually, I'll take it back. What I wanted to do was actually come over to application, bring this over here, and start looking at like what we have for storage and cookies. So if we look at our cookies here, we have a PHP session ID. So local storage, we have this one also set. DOM Invader is something for Burp Suite, so that's not what we're looking for right now. Session storage, nada. So really, it is probably just this cookie right here. So what we want to do is let's look for FUF and see how we set a cookie value in here. There we go. So real simple, cookie and name. So tact B. So let's go put that in here and see if we get a different result. So we'll do a post. I'm gonna put it right here. Tact B, and this can be PHP. I think it's session ID. SES ID. That's what it is. Let's drop that in. There we go. And then we'll say that is going to equal. I wish I could just Alt-Tab. Let's grab this value here. Go drop that in. Let's go. Now we're going to go try it. Oh, wait. We're missing a option here. There we go. All right, so didn't like that, but let's go try this again. Let's try API v1 user buzz, because we know that should work. For some reason, login now 302s us. I think it was user VPN. I think that was it. There we go. And see, now we're seeing a couple other ones in here. But download and generate, we're already coming back as 405s. So let's go try, instead of user, let's go try admin here. Actually, we're going to try it just with V1. fast. A little fuzz there. And I don't think anything came back as abnormal from this. I am not a coder by trade or profession, but I am out of necessity for the kind of work I do. I do offensive security, a lot of penetration testing, breaking into companies, writing reports on how I did it, explaining where their security deficiencies are, and coding kind of becomes a secondary part of that. I'm working on a project right now that is a hacking bot written in LangGraph, and that was actually a portion to become a better coder. Damn, laughing. I am a pooper by trade. I don't get paid for it. Let me see what they were actually asking for, because they were asking how many API endpoints are there under API v1 admin, and I'm not seeing any in here. Maybe we should try a different word list. Let's try this again. Admin. We'll fuzz through it. Yeah, go ahead. Cognisa, go ahead. Feel free to explain, ask away. This is a complete Q&A endeavor. Yeah, normally I'd be working on Hackbot on Sundays. I missed last night's stream. I'm a little extra brain fried today. We had a huge party up at my church today. I was out in the sun watching kids, making sure they didn't kill themselves, because children have zero sense of self-preservation. And I'm just cooked. So I thought we'd have some fun and do a little bit of Hack the Box tonight. If you think it'll be like a long, detailed conversation, Cognisa, what I would do is, let me drop a link to the Discord real fast. And you can hop in there and feel free to ask away any questions you've got. There you go. Yeah, feel free to hop in. We can totally discuss it on there. Let's see. But yeah, I do actually, my current penetration test right now is against an LLM-enabled application. Doing lots of fun stuff there. So why is nothing coming back on the admin? Let's do another sanity check real quick. I'm pretty sure we already tried this. Yeah, nothing came back from that. Let's try getting us a little bit beefier word list. Let's see what else we've got over in good old sec list. Let's see. How big is this file here? 224 lines. API seen in the wild. This is a chunky one. All right, let's go try this one. We'll throw a little bit beefier word list at it. Yeah, let's try this. Oh my goodness. So many 301s. All right, hang on. I know there's a way to filter out statuses. Let's see. Filter responses. So TAC FC 301. That should actually do it. Let's do that. Wait, is it TAC FS or FC? We could actually, yeah, we could filter by size, or we could filter by the code in there. Let's see. No, but I got you. Hang on one second. There you go. I fixed it for you, Cognisa. You should be good now. Yeah, FC will filter by the code. FS will filter by the response size. Yeah. So we'll do attack FC 301 on here. We're just going to hack around and we're going to find out. That's what we're going to do. Let's see. Attack FC 301. We want to filter those out. See if anything comes back. And this goes pretty fast for 7,600. Takes about 15 seconds. Dang. Let's do a sanity check on this. Let's go to user. See what happens. Buff defaults to 40 threads. Dang. All right, let's come back up here real quick. Let's try it with our session cookie. So filter out 301s, and then we'll change this back over to user. All right, so for that one, we had login and register, so we know those two should come back. And let's go change this to our APIs in the wild here. So if we don't see, where is it? So we might have to double check that register and login are actually in there. Let's see that. Go register. We'll put that in API seen in the wild, and then we'll also do login real quick here. We'll just modify the list real fast, and we'll double check it. No, Cognisa, you're totally fine. Just drop it in there. Feel free to ask. You can ask in general. There's also an AI and machine learning security channel in there, so if you want to ask in there, feel free to. And there's lots of smart folks in there too that someone else might have ideas for you. But go ahead and just word vomit out what you're working on and what your thoughts are and which way you're wanting to go with it. That's totally fine. All right, so login and register came back. Let's try admin like one more time here. But nothing coming back on the admin API. And that's specifically what they requested that we check here. API v1 admin. 0? Wrong answer. Dang it. That was too hopeful. Let's see. So we're filtering out 301s. We're getting that. I think we already tried the other word list in here. Let's see, we did API seen in the wild. And then we also did... So we did it for user. So weird. It's not a you thing, Dan. It's not a you thing, Dan. Let's see. Also, Cognisa, I have zero problems derailing the stream, by the way, and just going off into left field and looking at things. Don't ever feel like you're a distraction or anybody by asking questions. That's a big part of why I do the stream, is to answer questions for folks. Let's see. I'll tell you what, let's do something. Let's just do something wild here. Let's do just a simple curl request to admin. See what comes back here. So that was moved permanently. If we go to v1, let's see what we got here. Hack V. Some do it intentionally. Yeah, you do, man. So that one comes back as unauthorized. Let me try something. Let me try something dumb. Dumb is what I'm all about. Hacking around, finding out. Let's see, because we were trying to get to V1 right there. Let's just try what happens here. Let's see, because when we did the curl request here, that was not what I wanted to do. So the curl request actually just came back as an unauthorized when we were going to API v1. Let's go hit it up in the browser. Let's just see what happens. Duplicate tab. Come over here. Let's go to API v1. There we go. So look at this. Sometimes, let me back it up a bit. Let me try something over here. API, nothing. Okay. Sometimes APIs can be very helpful. And look at this. Now it's actually giving us a list of all the things we can hit for it. And so here are our admin options. So for a quick check, let's come up to find and just look for admin. All right, so for admin options in here, see, we have user, then we have admin. So we've got admin auth, check if the user is admin. And then we have and that is a GET request. We have a POST request for admin VPN generate. Oh my. Generate VPN for a specific user. And then we have v1 settings update user settings. Really? Oh, really? Okay, so cool. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3 in here for v1. What API endpoint can change a user account to an admin account? That is probably going to be this one right here. Settings update. So let's go see if we can hit that. Duplicate. So this is v1 admin settings update. Let's do v1 admin settings update. Go back here. I don't remember telling you to change a thing. So settings didn't come back. Let's see. What if we just drop it back to admin? Still 404s. So it doesn't like to tell us what we need to do. So the kicker is, it looks like settings update will let us change the user to an admin. Now the kicker is, what do we need to do there? So let's go look at that real quick. Let's see, view my profile doesn't work, unfortunately. So we do have log out. Check Discord, tell me if I'm understanding. Let's see. Let's see. Parties is essentially a distributed live chat, but with more. Hold on. I need to blow up Discord. I can't read it. I was outside in the sun for like, let me think, 7 hours today. My eyes are cooked. All right. Project is essentially a distributed live chat, but with more than it might look. It starts with the social media API, so DMs, groups, news feeds. Then you add a knowledge base such as a Wikipedia dump, or an LM extracted knowledge database. Then you add in those as LangChain tools into the language model. You can chat with other humans, and the language model will teach what the database knows, and all new convos will be added to the database. So news such as reactions to news that are unknown. And if something is known, the language model will teach it to that person. That means that the millions of people can sort of talk about the topic, and the language model will replicate things said before once it's learned it. So if you then add a social manager plugin, people can vote based on the sort of AI understanding. And you can also use things like Google AI identification models. Gotcha. So what's the main goal of where you're trying to go with that, Kamisa? Like, how do you picture the users interacting with an application like that? Let's see. Actually, let me look at something real quick here. Oh, I know. We can have a check and see if it is an admin. Back here. So post request will generate. That generates a VPN for a specific user. This checks if a user is an admin. So let's try that admin auth. Message false. Let's see. That is a for admin auth. That's a GET request. Check something. F2. That's just a regular PHP sesh ID. So that is nothing we're going to be dealing with. So what we need to do is we need to find some way to get an admin user or either set them to an admin. I like the put idea here. Maybe we can just make a put request to this. And when we do that, we can just give it the username. Let's go try that. The easiest place to do that would be over here in Burp. Let's come over to targets. Let's see. Let's send this over to repeater real fast. I just realized this text is actually really tiny. Let's see. Message editor. See if I can make the text in there bigger. I know I can. Here it is. Change font. Let's blow this up. 17. There we go. That should be a little bit easier for y'all to read. What we're going to do is change this over to a put. And what we'll do is change this to admin. What the path was. Let's see. Admin settings update. That. And I think we might just be able to give it like maybe the username or the email address. Let's try that. Moved permanently to 404. Oh, it helped if I spelled admin correctly. Danger invalid content type. Does it need to be JSON maybe? Do this. Send to repeater. Let me try doing a GET request against this. Let's see what happens. So even though it said it will take a put, sometimes if you do a GET, it might actually give us the thing we want. I saw it, Dan. I saw. Let me take out this content type header. Upgrade and secure. Don't care about that. Anything else? Send. Method not allowed. Whoa. That's rude. Let's try content type JSON. That is. Content. Is it application JSON? Yeah, it's application JSON. Try that. And then what we'll do is put this just like so. Let's see. So email. Let's see if that works. Missing parameter is admin. Oh, aren't you so handy? You're just lovely, aren't you? All right, so is admin. That might not be valid JSON. Variable must be either 0 or 1. 1. Danger email not found. Well, okay. Because it was URL encoded. Username Blaise bits. Nice. Nice. So now we're an admin on the site. All right. Submit the flag located in the admin user's home directory. Admin user's home directory. What? Oh, did I miss something, Felix? Hang on. see here. I thought I got everything. Let's see. So the project is a distributed live chat, but it's more than what it looked like. It starts with the social media API. So we have DMs, groups, news feeds, and tasks. Then you add a knowledge database such as a Wikipedia dump or a language model extract database. You add those as LangChain tools into the language model. Then you can chat to all the other humans, and the language model will teach what the database knows. So when you say the language model is going to teach what the database knows, are you talking about it's going to teach it to the users? All newcomers will be added to the database. Oh, that was the part I missed on. So the AI understanding of if you know the topic teaches everything that it knows unless targeted as a human. So a database of all knowledge like Wikipedia, but also a social chat. Think about this. So it replaces traditional social media, allows more thorough, like government voting teaches perfectly. It can allow collective management of huge projects such as AI brain modeling versions of Scientific Haven, and allocate resources that make sense in order to build an infinite everything everywhere universe beyond logic. Then you can add an open source supply chain to it. Okay. Which you can use as a routing algorithm like Digitska to optimize all supply chains and things like logistics. So all journeys optimally shared, etc. People learn things they will need, where they will be the next day. Oh, I recognize Dijkstra. I recognize the algorithm because I have a networking background. So OSPF was my jam for a long time. I never knew how to say it though. Jayeki? Dijkstra? I'll go with that. I know what you're talking about though. It's the same protocol that's used for OSPF. Also, Fuego, thank you for coming online, man. Welcome in and happy Sunday. Do you Cognisa, do you have any design documents and kind of what you've built up? Like what you want it to really do? Monday for you? I get so many folks coming in like early on Mondays. Let's see. Algorithm. I'm pretty sure this is the one used in OSPF. Yeah. Yeah, that's the open source path first protocol that was used. How do you say it? Pronunciation. Dijkstra. Yeah, that's how you say it. Hang on.
Dijkstra.
Yeah, I thought that was the way you said it. So it starts with some kind of social media API, and then you make a language model tool, and you can social chat. I mean, I think one of the issues, I think I see where you're wanting to go with it. One of the issues is a lot of people are going to be very off-put if you have like a social chat and then you've got a language model just coming in and injecting information into it. They're going to feel that's very unnatural for the conversation. Nunya at business. I actually had to explain to my oldest son, codename Agent Zero, because he always asks, like, Daddy, what are you doing? I was like, Nunya. What's Nunya? Nunya business. I had to explain it to him because he has so much. Oh, so you're talking with the language models that go between. Okay, gotcha. I was thinking you were talking about like a social media group chat, and then the language model is just coming in like, actually, that's not how this works. And I was like, that could be really off-putting for some folks. Okay, I'm with you now. Let's see. I'm reading it, Cognisa. I'm just not sure if I'm getting it. That's why I was asking if you had put together any kind of like design document to look at. Let's look at this article you sent over real fast though. Let's see. So optimizing Uber taxi routing GPS style directions for life, the futuristic thought of social networks. Okay. So picture a classroom where 100 children scramble to find their named balloons in a chaotic pile. The task seems impossible until someone suggests a task like take any balloon and give it to its owner. Order emerges from the chaos. The job is done in minutes. This parable of distributed problem solving mirrors humanity's next evolutionary step, a future where AI doesn't just optimize routes for social networks, but rewires how we think collectively. It might be... Actually, I want to... my gut instinct is, with this thought, is that humans can learn new things, but the wiring of the thought process, more or less, it's more or less kind of like an evolutionary advantage to the way it is. So rewiring it might be a little bit difficult. It's literally been that way for thousands of millennia. So at its core, the vision, it reimagines efficiency through three interconnected layers: physical logistics, collaborative intelligence, and cognitive augmentation. So unlike traditional systems that treat transportation, social interaction, and learning as separate domains, this framework creates a symbiotic ecosystem where optimized taxi routing reduces carbon footprints, social networks preempt community needs, and neural interfaces turn individual insights into collective efficiency. So the result, a society where resource conservation, cognitive synergy becomes an inevitable byproduct of daily life and trust is amplified. Let's see. I like that we've got this going here. Hang on, I am going to save this though for a little bit, Cognisa, because I will read through this. I really want to get through this Hack the Box though, because I don't do them very often. If I don't finish an easy one while the stream's going on, I will never get it finished. But I think what you're asking is going to take a little bit more thought than I want to toss at it at this very moment, especially considering how absolutely brain fried I am. I like the idea though, and I will read through this, and I will get you my ideas and my thoughts about it. We can chat on Discord. All right. Let me finish this one up real fast here. Let me see. All right, so we're going to get to the admin user's home directory. So let's go refresh this page that we've got in here, because we should be an admin user now. Let's see. Do we get anything new being an admin user? Let's see. Anything change? I don't think so. But one thing we probably can do is get their OpenVPN password. No way we have to actually go connect to OpenVPN over OpenVPN. No, Cognisa, don't apologize. If anything, I should be apologizing because I'm brain cooked right now. It was 4th of July weekend here in the States, and I was out late Friday night with the kids doing fireworks. And then yesterday, I was just wrecked because the kids wanted to do stuff all day. And then today, again, outside all day in the heat, just getting baked. I'm extra crispy right now. I think what we can do now, actually, we can take a look at this. Let's refresh this. Admin auth. So we are an admin. We had a couple other ones in here, which is, let's see, admin v1 VPN generate. And that's a post request. So let's go do that real quick. Let's send this over to repeater. Let's take this stuff out. And it looks like it's VPN generate. Let's go try that. And this was a post request. See what happens here. Take out the content type. No. Let me try this again. Let's send this to repeater. It's a put request? Hold on, am I that blind? Let's see. No, the generate is a post request here. The put request was down here for the settings update. Yeah. But one thing we might need is we might need the email address. So let's take this stuff out and let's change this to a post. Maybe it actually needs a body in here. Oh, dang it. I didn't do that right. VPN and then generate. Missing parameter or username. Okay. We can do that. Blaise bits. Oh wait, no, we want the ad. Maybe is there an admin username? Oh, let's go. Let me try something crazy here. I'm gonna put in a fake username. Oh, it actually comes back with something here. All right. Well, anyway, let's try admin here. Because it looks like it will give us back something or whatever. Let me do something real quick. Send this to repeater. Then let's get one for our username, BlaiseBits. Send that over to. Oh, did I? Please tell me I sent that to compare. I didn't, because I'm a dummy. I sent it to I don't know where. Hang on. That's all right. Let's go change this back. Admin, send, and then now send that to compare. I think I might have accidentally sent it to sequencer. Compare words. Let's see. Sync view. Is there any difference between these two? Let's see. Modulus changes, serial number. Actually does change quite a bit. So this one was the BlaiseBits side here. This one's the admin side. Interesting. It actually does change some stuff in here. Now, because those are just byte encoded ASCII. Whenever it's sending that back. Let's do. Let's just take this and go copy it. We're going to assume that admin is a valid user. Try this. So we'll copy this. And let's control C here. Let's do vim. We'll call this admin.ovpn. Do a set and paste. And we'll just drop this all in here. Hopefully. And then let's go try that real quick. Let's see. Open VPN. Let's see. Could not determine protocol. Was that a valid page, or did I not save that correctly? Let's go see. Well, one thing also we could do is we could actually just save the response. Because oh, raw. That's what we wanted. Little known fact, if you look at these responses by default in Burp, it gives you the pretty formatted one. We want the raw response. We want it raw. Get all this stuff right here. Oh, we need more. There we go. Want everything up to here. Copy that. Where's it go? Yeah, there we go. All right, set paste. Paste this in. Looks like it actually pasted it correctly. This could not determine IPv4 IPv6 protocol. Oh, we need to actually go modify this. 1337. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Let's take a look at something real quick. This and then let's see. 10 dot. Let's see, is this using UDP or TCP? I'm trying to remember. Not sure. I don't recall offhand. Oops, wait. Let's try SU. Things like that. Like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's UDP also, Dan. This is saying that it's closed though, so maybe there's something I'm missing. Let's double check in the interface here. Because we know that this is we know he's an admin user. We're an admin user now. Only thing we have is the single empty cache and hard reload. Let's see. Just in case we're caching something in here. Team shoutbox, anything? Oh, here we go. Top teams, admins. Look something real quick. Let's see. Do my profile. Where's our VPNs in here? Dude, my spelling has been off like crazy. Where is it? Rules, James Law. Oh, here we go. Did rules actually show up before? I've actually not heard of micro LXC. I've used LXC containers on my Proxmox server. I just had to look it up real quick because I was drawing a blank. But no, I haven't actually looked at that cognizant. Dang, I wish the member finder worked. Hall of Fame, team rankings. So here on the dashboard, we've got some information. So we can't get to any of these things. There's EU free one. I'm guessing what we probably need to do is account settings and team management. Log out. Where the heck did I generate my my VPN? Let me double check something in that. Access, here we are. I wonder if, actually if I use Blaise bits again since it's an admin, maybe that's what I could do. Yeah, this should be good. So I think what we need to do is go set up another DNS entry for that entry in there. Let me go vim this again real quick. Is there a beginner level room in TryHackMe? Yeah, Cyber, there's a ton over in TryHackMe. I mean, if you're looking for something that's the most beginner, this is the one I'd recommend starting with, like something that's super easy. They're all ranked by their easiness. RootMe is the one we've been training the HackBot to try and hack into. Hit a bit of a roadblock with that though, and that is we need to actually get a browser that the AI agent can control, because it just really wants a browser. Trying to get it to do everything with like curls and puts and posts. And since we didn't get to work on it last night, I decided we'll just take a night off. We'll do a little bit of hacking around. We'll just mess around with stuff. But yeah, RootMe is a good one to start with, Cyber. I'll tell you, give me 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. I need to get some water. Hold that thought, Cyber, and I will give you a better explanation in just a sec. All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right. All right, so right now I'm just doing the junior pen tester path, but it's more on a learning modules than on actual CTF rooms. Don't feel bad about that, Cyber. So just before, a little while ago before you came in, I was explaining the difference between how like a penetration test and a CTF differ, and what is good about them and what kind of deficiencies you might have for it. So yeah, I still have the diagram up. So when you're doing a lot of CTFs, your goal is you have one target and you want to get user, you want to get root. But when you're on an actual penetration test, this might be our end goal machine, and we start here, and it might be we don't need to root this machine. There's something in user land where we have access, where we could get access to our target system. Or maybe because we have user here, we can get root on a completely different system and then pivot over to this one. So the difference you're going to come across with CTFs versus like a real penetration test is there are usually multiple paths to take to get to whatever your objective is in a penetration test. Versus in TryHackMe, you have one system that you're trying to manipulate. So you can learn a lot of really cool things about different technology packs, different ways to think about attacking web apps or different protocols using maybe well-known CVEs, things like that. But when it comes to an actual penetration test, this flow doesn't necessarily translate. I don't always need to escalate to root once I've gotten onto a system. A lot of times there's stuff over in user land that's going to get me kind of where I want to go. So don't feel bad about doing any of the CTS stuff. If you wanted to do on HackTheBox, one of the ways you can do this, doing privilege escalation. You don't always necessarily need to escalate your privileges. A lot of times, especially when I'm breaking into Active Directory networks, I don't ever usually escalate privileges on the system itself. I'll escalate privileges in the domain. And even then, not necessarily to like a domain admin. I'll just escalate privileges over to some higher level user that has the access I need. And I don't even have to touch domain admin a lot of times. It usually does happen though, but it's not usually necessarily a requirement. Thought Peaches was coming in to attack me. She's drinking a ton of water. I had some meat for dinner, and she gets the bones from it. And I think she was just thirsty from all the salt. I was like, oh, poor thing. She didn't have any water in her bowl. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do this one. What API endpoint can change a user to an admin account? Let me go throw that in here real fast. Because that was... I still got that over in labor. We'll answer all these questions. Settings update. There we go. Look at this one. Dude, there's been times I find so many like credentials in scripts or embedded into like binaries that we find on the assessment. We'll download the binary and decompile it or reverse engineer it. And yeah, we'll find credentials just stuffed into the binary. Something that's been cooked up at home. Homebrew code. One thing I do like that they added in HackTheBox is they added this kind of guided mode. And I do this for fun, so I don't care about necessarily the challenge. I'm coming in trying to analyze and learn and just have a good time. What API endpoint has a command injection vulnerability in it? There's one with a command injection vulnerability? No. No. What? Does one of them have a command injection? Maybe so like I said, I'm looking at this the wrong way. Like, what other APIs did we have? Let's see. Let me do something real quick. Let's go curl this real quick. I think I want to throw a tac Q in here. Let's do this. That'd be what I want. Tac Q. Tac E. Nope, didn't like that. Not gonna lie, college education is not that great. Without all these try hack me, hack the box online learnings, Discord, I'd probably be lost. Don't feel bad. That's usually the way it goes. Usually, there is unfortunately not a lot of cybersecurity programs I could really recommend. And if you're in one, don't think that I'm hating on you or I think what you're doing is ineffective. It's just for the type of offensive work I'm doing, I think one of the few, I want to say it's WGU. And the reason I recommend that is because I believe they're working with a lot of the big three-letter agencies around the DC area, and they have helped craft the curriculum for that to prepare people for them to hire. I think that was WGU. Correct me if I'm wrong. It has been known to happen from time to time. My computer career? No, Dan. Bad. Bad, Dan. Bad. Bad. If not with my military benefits, I'm not doing it. Dude, actually, absolutely. If you have those benefits, definitely use it. But I think a lot of people, they make the mistake also of whenever they're going through like a cybersecurity degree of thinking that it's going to teach them X when it really teaches them Y. And so you have to actually kind of be the one to align where you want to go. That's why I'm always real big on networking, getting out, talking to folks. If you want to work in a particular area of security, go talk to the folks that are in that area. So if that area happens to be offensive security, go get out and go to like local DEF CONs, local 2600, any other local cybersecurity group that's in your area, and go meet the other degenerate hackers that are there. if you're wanting to work in governance, risk, and compliance, there's like ISACA meetups, usually all over the place that you can go to. Get to know those folks. And I love my GRC folks because it's one, it's an important job. Two, it pays well. And three, I don't want to do it. So if there's more people doing it, there's less chance I'm ever going to be made to do it. You took my computer career, Dan? Oh, you precious sunshine. You sweet summer child. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we need to actually make this request with a. Could do something. Let's see. We went to, I think, just API v1. Do a get. This stuff. He does now have a computer career, though, as a very valid counterpoint band. Let's see. So this is a nice, prettier version. This is what I wanted. Let's see. Instructions on invite code. Generate invite code. Verify. Check if user is authenticated. VPN generate, regenerate, download. Let's see. These are all gets, posts. So get request. It doesn't look like any of those are going to be available for code injection. For post, let's see, we have register and then login. For admin, we have get, check if a user is admin. Post, which is generate. So this takes some input. And we also have a put here for admin settings update. So this one's a get request, so it's probably out. Our post request, though, maybe this will have it. I'm ready right now to go towards pen testing and bug bounty, so I'm enrolled in the TCM PJPT cert right now. Quite a lot of recommendations. I have not looked very much into that cert. I know TCM gets a lot of flack because a lot of people feel like they are basically cloning other courses that other folks have put out. I don't have any dogs in that fight to say one way or the other. A lot of the information too, it's very difficult to come up with original stuff. Believe it or not, a lot of security workflows and things like that, they're more or less at this point standardized. It's just kind of, you can't split the knowledge any other ways. You know, there's only so many ways to kind of cut the slices to it. So I think the topics of their courses might be a bit on the nose, right? So somebody releases like a C# offensive security course, and then TCM's like, oh, hey, we could make one too. That just kind of crafts their own. Oh, you were a penetration tester before you finished with it? Like, did you get it while you were in the process of it, Dan? Or were you already a pen tester and then you went to my computer career? Because that would actually be kind of funny. Like, you're probably way beyond that curriculum at that point. See, Band has looked at it. Let's see. So which one of these could potentially... So let's see if we can walk this up a wee bit. Can we send it up to VPN or to API? Really just V1. Let's go back here. So for this one, we have invite, we have user, we have admin. So all these are GET requests. They're pretty much out. For post, we do have register and we have login. I still want to try this real quick. Let me look at something real quick. Let me Vim this sucker real quick. Actually, rather than we bust out of this, we do let's get some head action happening here. Giggity. Copy this. Copy that selection. And let me Vim our Etsy host because I want to... You're killing me. What I'm gonna do is this. Let's come down here. I do want to try this again real quick. Connection refused. Okay, that's what I thought. So this is kind of barking up the wrong tree here whenever we do this. Actually, you know what? I bet that's it. I bet it's the generate command, because look at this. What's it do? It takes a username, plops it over into here. Okay, Nisa, are you dropping a few more things in there? Okay, I will take a look at that. I will try to take a look at that by tomorrow. No promises though, because I have an unusually busy week this week, but I do try to keep up with like how things are going in the Discord on a regular basis. I started my computer career and then became a penetration tester, but no, the information that came from computer career was helpful because it was all networking and then wanted me to get my CCNA. Oh, okay. Dude, now that was where I started really in IT professionally. So I've been a computer degenerate, hacking on stuff in just weird random ways. I am so jealous of like everything we have access to knowledge-wise these days. Back in my day, it was IRC chats. And last time you just got called a fucking noob and kicked out. Or you had 2600 magazine. That was pretty much it. Now you have access to so much information. It's really awesome. And so I didn't actually start IT as a career until 2009. And that's when I enrolled in my first Cisco courses. So I started in networking with my CCNA, Dan. And finished off with that. And then for some reason decided to just go on a side quest to get a math degree while working in IT. And then just kept going through with it. So the best thing to come out of my math degree actually is understanding like where people have applied cryptography wrong. And I'm not even talking about like getting down in the weeds, just like understanding it really how it's working. And two, teaching it to my son. We have a great time. He's way ahead of his age level for mathematics. Most shocking from going to cybersecurity from electrical engineering is not having a solid structure. I'm used to structured learning. Electrical theory is the same as when it was created. Dude, Cyber, actually, if you have a really good understanding of electrical engineering, dude, there is a whole world of hardware hacking going on. I tell you what, up in the Discord, there's hardware hacking in embedded systems. Hop in there and I will drop a message saying, hey, I'm new in here. I'll know who you are. I'm going to ping a buddy of mine that was one of the things he likes is really tinkering with hardware. And he would be a great person to talk to. I'll get y'all kind of linked up on Discord. But dude, doing like some of the hardware hacks where like you're bit bleeding and like stealing crypto keys out of chips and stuff, or you're putting like I'm trying to remember the term, dropping like JTAGs and stuff on there. Dang it, I'm just so brain fried tonight. But that's really fascinating stuff to me, and I suck at it. So there's always lots of folks you need in there. Hey, Palmer, what's up, bro? Cognisa, I love 2600. It still has a special place in my heart. I would go get a copy of 2600 from Barnes & Noble, go sit in there and get a coffee and just read. My stepdad was actually a hacker and got the FBI to raid our house, and since then I've always had a very hand into it. No, damn. Oh. Oh. But yeah, cyber, I would say if you really wanted to make use of that electrical engineering understanding, there's a whole world out there. And there's there's lots of people that do it, but there's not a lot of people that necessarily do it professionally. And so you can really have fun with that kind of stuff, especially on like IoT devices. Bro, IoT is Internet of Trash. That's what it is. Some of those devices are just hot garbage. Try this. We have code injection right here. So, hold on, let me diagram this out for anybody who's not tracking what's going on here. This is actually pretty fun. So, what we're doing is this. So, we're sending a post request. And this post request generates a VPN configuration, right? And so what do we take for this? This post request needs a username. So what we reasonably assumed is that this username, basically we have some other command here. Let's say like, just for an example, I don't know what the exact syntax might be. OpenVPN, you know, gen, let's call it like whatever the target is, right? And then we have the username associated to it, right? And then that's an argument that's kind of being tossed in here. So this username is being injected into this variable. So what did we do? We said, okay, yeah, by the way, the user is a semicolon, which is the line terminator whenever you're sending things over to like a shell command. So we're ending this OpenVPN shell here, and we're saying like echo poo. That was what I did. And we came back. We got back. Where is it? We got back poo. Got OpenVPN. Okay, cool. So then we're like, okay, well, can we do characters in here? Can we do environment variables? Are we actually getting down to the shell? We are. We're running as tripdubs data in here. So we do have code execution here. So we can go get something running where we can actually get some code. Dude, yeah, firmware extraction and like reverse engineering band, that is super interesting. Buddy of mine went and actually bought a whole bunch of those body cams that like police wore. They were used on eBay, and it was just pulling out the firmware, finding bugs in it. He's legit awesome. Let's go see something real quick. Let's do ls home. Will that work? Let's see. Var HTML. Can we do that? Can we ls that? Isn't that? It's not liking that. So echo is fine. It's coming back.
Caution. A virus has been detected.
Bootstrap virus detected in the network.
Hey Rob, what's up, man? Happy Sunday, Raiders. Welcome in. RWX raid. What's going on, y'all? I am so a virus. You are, man. You're my favorite virus. Don't tell HackSmarter though whenever he comes in. Hey, no problem, Rob. Welcome in, Raiders, by the way. We're just sitting here chilling. We're doing a little bit of HackTheBox tonight. I did not feel like doing code dev on the... usually we're working on an AI hacking bot to play CTFs. This actually did have an ulterior motive. So long story short, I've been in penetration testing for 7 years. I've been in IT for 15 years. LLMs are like the new big rage. So I wanted to go ahead and see about trying to understand how the toolkits work. So we were building a tool most nights. Tonight we're taking a night off to do that. And using language models, using tools, using frameworks, everything like that to come through and play CTFs. Having a blast with it. Tonight I decided to just chill out and take a night off. Do a reverse engineer of an executable and name all the variables using Ghidra. Yeah, you could do that. Actually, someone made an MCP server to interact with. I want to say it was Ghidra, or as I like to call it, Gahydra, and that was actually really cool. I need to look into that. Hold on, we'll chill out for a second. We'll let the ads clear out because they just fired off. Maybe a null byte at the end. That's what I was just wondering, Dan, what we needed to do here. Try something real quick. What might we want to do here? What if I just did an LS? Like with no options. Right, okay, so it doesn't want to return that. What, now you want to work? All right, fine. We'll go with that. Okay, cool. So what we had here is I just sandwiched semicolons around it, which I thought I had tried. I don't know why it didn't work the last time. Talisman, thank you for coming online, and happy Sunday. Or Monday, depending on which part of the world you're in. Let's see here. All right, cool. So we can actually go look at stuff. Do we have any permissions on here? Let's see. Let's see. We have... Actually, to the admin, we have read... We don't have private, but we have read permissions on there. So let's go see what's in the admin folder. Home directory. Send. What do we have in here? We have a bash history. We do have the user txt, so let's go grab that real fast. We'll go get the user shell. So user txt, and what we'll do is we'll just cat that bad mammoth gem out. Really? Now you don't want to do it? Try this. Let's see if I can do a subtask in here. No, you don't want to do it? You suck. Wait, so we can list it. Oh, that's because user.txt is owned by root, an admin, which we are neither, so we don't have permissions to it. That's why it's doing it. ICS and SCADA penetration testing protocols, logic firmware, 100,000 plus per engagement, medium high. That's good pay. Oh, dude, yes. Especially if you have experience with industrial controls, that is a really cool area of security work that has a super high barrier to entry. Really, Dragos is the only ones I know that are doing it kind of at any kind of scale because it's so difficult to get the testing environment. Dude, ICS is insane because like you have to touch stuff with like a feather when you're doing it. Because if you're like just smashing stuff in there, you can literally knock those ICS devices like completely out. Their network stacks are so brittle. Literally just doing like a regular nmap scan, you can just absolutely destroy it. Yeah. Nmap equals take offline. They're so incredibly brittle. It's like you're touching everything with a hammer and everything's made of glass. You have to be like so freaking careful with it. It's insane. I only got to do one. I was really hopeful when I was at my last company. We did a lot of oil and gas work, and so because it's based in Texas. So lots of oil and gas companies. There was one where they had an entire simulation in their lab of their entire like ICS setup, and I so badly wanted to get onto that because I didn't have to worry about then potentially destroying something that's in production. I theoretically blew up an oil refinery. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, so that's why we couldn't get the user.txt because we are not root nor admin in here. But let's see. So admin, we don't have permissions to read their SSH directory profile. But one thing we can get is their bash history, which unfortunately goes to dev null. That is very, very rude. Actually, are we admin? Hold on. No, we're TripDub's data right now. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we're executing this in the context of the web server. Comrade Soul, how are you doing? Let's see. I tell you, let's go back here. Let's go send this again real fast. What are we doing? We've got the .env file. We have our database PHP router control view. I'll tell you what, let's see if we can cat that .env file. See if there's anything interesting in there. Database host, username, admin, password, super duper 123. All right, that's awesome. What was the next question we were supposed to answer in here? Oh, which API has the command injection vulnerability? Let me go capture that real fast. Boop. Submit. It does. What file is commonly used in PHP applications to store environment variables? One step ahead of you. That is our .env file. We're just having fun tonight, by the way, everybody coming in from Rob's stream, because I was at a 4th of July party all day with my church, watching the kids, making sure they didn't absolutely BTFO themselves, because kids have zero self-preservation skills. And we had like a water slide and stuff out there. Everybody had a fantastic time. I had to get onto a couple of the older kids because they're like just trying to Geronimo off this thing. I'm like, could you please not die when I'm watching you? Your parents will not forgive me. So I think we could probably just go, let's copy this. Let's go see if we can just SSH over as admin. So SSH to admin at, crap, what was the, I don't even remember. What was the host name? 2million.htb. Okay, so SSH to admin at 2million.htb. And then, yes, let's connect. See if his password works. Hey, look at that. All right. Cat user.txt. There is our flag. Huzzah! Let's go copy that real quick. We got 15 minutes left. What do you mean? That is the... Oh, because it's this one. There we go. Well, let's see. What's the email address of the sender of the email it sent to admin? The email sent to admin? What's the email address of the sender of the email sent to admin? Let's see. Do we have sudo? Let's see. Password for admin. Let's see. Oh, I think I accidentally did not copy the password. Copy. Do this. Admin may not run sudo on localhost. Well, crap. Check the var mail. That's a good idea. Let's go look at that. Let's see. Var mail. Let's see. Admin. What do we have in here? We need to cat that. Let's see. From Goblin to admin. And see, this is the kind of stuff I have never once, in all the Linux systems that I have pwned in production, seen an email on a Linux system. And this is what I was talking about. Some of the interesting things, but not really practical things you see in a CTF versus like an actual penetration test. Never once. Hundreds of machines, never once seen a mail. Or needed to go check the mail. This is so funny. Submit. That's not wrong. What's the email address of the sender of the email sent to admin? That was, oh, that was the CC. I copied it. Copy. Copy selection. I'll see if I can speed run the privask real fast so I can do this. They're very direct to this. What's the 2023 CVE ID for a vulnerability that allows an attacker to move files in the overlay file system while maintaining metadata like the owner and set UID bit? What? let's see here. Allows an attacker to move files in the overlay file system while maintaining metadata like the owner in the suet bit. That's such an on the nose question here. Palmer's like, I got you, boo. Let's go look at this one. Let's go. What is the exploit here? Let's take a look at the exploit real quick, and then we'll see. There's probably something for it up on exploit.db. Flaw was found in the Linux kernel where unauthorized access to the execution of the setuid file with capabilities was found in the Linux kernel's overlay file system subsystem, and how a user copies a capable file from a no-suid mount into another mount. So this UID mapping bug allows a local user to escalate their privileges on the system. Really? Let's see what is mounted right now. So much. Pipe, grep, no suet. Let's take a look here. So what do we have here? We have no suet on a lot of stuff in here. Let's see, run credentials. Let's see, dev sh. This is sysproc dev pts run syskernel security. Is temp a no suet? I mean, I see a bunch of temp FSs in here. Which, I mean, these are all... Yeah, let's say I was about to be really... like, impressed by that. Let's go take a look here. If I'm doing CTFs, honestly, this is the way I prefer doing it. Just doing it as a chill-out group exercise. Because, like I said, this is kind of stuff that I never, ever have to deal with on a real penetration test. Let's see. Let's see what Dan's got here. Datadog. Check if this isn't. So this vulnerability exclusively affects Linux-based systems. Well, yeah. Easiest way to check whether your system is vulnerable is to see which version of Linux kernel you're running. A system is likely vulnerable if it has a kernel version lower than 6.2. So let's go do a quick sanity check in here. Yep, so we're running 5.1.5 as the kernel version. So the suid bit is a special... I'm going to read this for anybody who doesn't know what a SUID is. So the SUID bit, or set user ID, is a special file permission that allows a binary to impersonate the owner of the binary using the set UID system call family, instead of the user executing it. What that means is, let's say, for example... actually, let me see if I can look at something real quick. Which sudo? There we go. All right, so... Because this is like the perfect example right here. So do you see how this one has this RWS instead of RWX? So that S is the set user ID bit being turned on. So you can execute it, and you can execute it as the owner, which in this case is root. That's how sudo is designed to work, and why sudo exploits are such a big deal. So what we're doing is we're going to see what other binaries might have that in here. Maybe we can make a suid binary in the no suid fs and copy it over somewhere else. Might work, Ben. We can try that. Quick example using the following code. So what do they do here? They do... So what they do here is they set the result, they set the UID to 0, which would be root. And so if the result is not 0, couldn't set it, starting root shell. Boom. So this program attempts to impersonate a user ID with 0, which is root, Operation succeed will be root if we do this. Let's see if they have GCC installed. I think you probably got the right idea for this one, band. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if this machine actually has Vim installed. It's on my keyboard. Let's see, Vim exploit.c. Actually, set paste, insert. Boop. Let's see if we can do that. Then we have a.out. Okay, so we're gonna run this just to show it. It should say operation failed because we don't have permissions to just go run a SUID like this. So then what we'll do here is, what we do is we had chown it to root. There we go. Let's go do that real quick. So we'll do chown. Let's see, root, and then we'll set a.out. Changing ownership of a.out operation not permitted. What? I can't chown it? Why won't you let me chown it? Actually, I don't think we... Actually, yeah, we do need to change that to root, don't we? Yeah, that's why we can't chown it to root. Let's see. Anyway, so let's look at this. So if we look at makedir upper. So we can create a unified file system mount combining these directories using our overlay fs. So what we do is we do a makedir, our mount overlay to this working dir. Okay, so this is talking about how you actually exploit it if you're crafting it out. So we need to find something that meets these qualifications. Let's see. So let's go see what mounts we had that were potentially using overlay. Yeah. So, I think it just search for overlay. No, that's not it. We just run mount again. Let's see what we've got. Actually, it'd have to be one that already has no SUID set to it from what they were talking about. Let's see. So proc dev, run, devshim. Actually, SHM may work, believe it or not. Oh, you know what? We'd actually need to go find a binary, I think, that's in these that already has that. I think that's what we need to do. Let's see. Let's see, this is a RAM file system. These are the overlays. So we write when we write any file to one of the mount points, base or upper, it's reflected in the overlay system. So upper or lower go into the overlay. All right, so the vulnerability lies in the fact that the kernel copied a file from the overlay file system to the upper directory. It did not check if the user groups owning this file was mapped to the current username namespace. This allows an unprivileged user to smuggle a SUID binary from a lower directory to an upper directory by using the overlay fs as an intermediate. So create a fuse. Oh wait, that's what we'd actually need to search for, isn't it? Fuse. I never actually messed with overlay file systems before. Wonder what's in here. Anything? Anything at all? Nothing. Okay. But we could be able to CD over to that. Let's see. So this virtual file system is backed by a piece of code, making it appear as if it contains a single binary. The step requires fuse. We do not have permissions to chmod for root on the real file system. So enter a new user and mount namespace using the unshare system call. The sole purpose of this step is to allow us to mount in the next step. Let's see. This is supposed to be an easy one? I wouldn't call this an easy box. I mean, unless there's like literally exploit code that automates this whole thing. Let me go look at something real quick. Let's go look up exploit DB real fast. Because if there's not like a ready-made exploit for this, I wouldn't call this an easy one, more or less. I'm surprised. Man, exploit DB used to be the jam back in the day. There's a Metasploit module? Bro, no. Is there? I don't want to use Metasploit. Of course there's a Metasploit module for it. Okay, then yes, I would classify this as easy if there's a Metasploit module. Milworm was just a tad bit before my time, band, before I really started getting into exploitation. I never really got deep into doing a lot of the Milworm stuff. Do I really need to go get a Metasploit? I want to set up Metasploit. Let me look at the source code. Let me see what it's doing here. All right, so for the exploit, let's see. Exploit directory equals some baster random path, exploit path. Yeah, by the time I was coming around, band, I took the OSCP in 2010, the first time, and exploit DB was kind of really the thing by that point. Damn it. All right, fine. I will go set up Metasploit. F me, man. All right. Oh, dude, do I not have... I don't have Metasploit installed. Crap on a stick. I think it's just apt to install Metasploit. Oh, shit. MS. SF. It is. Let's see. Metasploit. I haven't used Metasploit in so long. Let's see. Metasploit framework. That's what it is. Let's see. Metasploit framework. Yes, continue. This will now take up 700 gigabytes of Ruby. Actually, you know what? That'd be actually something fun to do. I was just thinking, I wonder if I could set up some of the, like, I wonder if I could make something to bring all the Metasploit modules over into Mythic. I don't think it's super practical, but I think it'd be funny. Metasploit's potentially the largest Ruby code base. Dang. Well, I mean, also, Rails doesn't really take something like community code contributions, though, does it? I mean, that's the big thing about Metasploit, is that you've got all these community modules that just get, blasted into it. All right. MSF console. Rails is pretty big. That's what she said. Oh. Got so many Metasploit cobwebs to dust off here. Let's see. So in pen testing, there's a lot of tools that you can actually use, but I always see the common ones being used. Are you allowed to use any tools for pen testing? So typically, Cyber, when you are going to do contract pen testing, like what I do, we have a pretty curated tool list. We can go outside of that, but if we're going outside that, there's certain precautions we also want to take, because there are jerks out there that will put out backdoored code for various effects. So we have to go through and make sure that we're vetting the things that we are executing in the client's environment because we don't want to become the source of them getting compromised. You can run the banner command and look at all the awesome ASCII arts. Oh, let me think about how I want to do this. I know we can actually just use SSH for this. I'm trying to remember what the module is called, though. What is it here? I think it's use exploit. No, don't list all the possibilities. Is it generic? General? And then I think from here, I think there was an SSH connect where we could literally just give it. Oh, what is it? It's not exploit Linux. It's not exploit Windows. Crap, what is it called? SSH login. I know what the module I'm trying to do is. Where basically you can have it go log in and just get you a Metasploit session. Ox or multi? Yeah. I think it's probably a multi in here. Let's see. Use exploit multi SSH exec. There we go. I think this one will work. Let's see. I think the info command will tell us what it does. There we go. Connects to the targets and executes necessary commands to run specified payload via SSH. So if a native payload is specified, appropriate stage will be used. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to set serve host to 2,000,000.htb. And then we want to set, let's see, local port to listen on, 8080 should be fine, except, oh, we are running as root. Awesome. Crap, what was it? I don't remember. Yeah, serve port 8080 should be fine. And then what we want to do is we want to set oh, I screwed that up. Serve host, I want to unset that because that is not the target. Unset. Did that not do it? Info. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It did unset it. Yeah, serve host should be me, Dan. Yes. Dude, I have not used Metasploit legit in years. Let's see. I know this is random, but my head AirPods stopped working and won't go into search mode nor connect. Can you give me some advice as to how someone may have hacked or blocked my headphones from connecting? Chances are that probably hasn't happened. They could potentially be using a Bluetooth jammer band, but if you have any other Bluetooth devices that are still working, you can pretty relatively easily kind of rule that out. Chances are most likely it's a hardware failure. AirPods are not infallible. What I would do is check and see if there's any kind of like hard reset or factory reset options you can do, like certain button touch combinations, and basically reset them back to factory and then repair to your iPhone. And I gotta give the obligatory. Don't take this as an insult. I'm just playing this because I like it.
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Let's see. Password. All right, so let's go set that real quick. So password, we get that over here. Super duper password. We'll drop that. And then what else do we need? We need the rhost. We will need the username. Okay, so set username to admin. Set rhost to 2,000,000.htb. Go. And then we double check the options here. Let's see, what payload are we using? We don't need a URL path. We set the username, we set the password, we set the rhost. This will actually just run a command in here. Let me just exploit it. I'm just going to see what it does. No session was created. What? Maybe we need to set the payload. Set payload to Linux. I don't know what the payload is. No, don't apologize, man. I mean, sometimes we overlook some of the simple stuff whenever we're troubleshooting things. It still happens to me. I've been in IT for 15 years, and I'll be certain that some low-level thing is set properly, and a lot of times that's not the issue, or that comes out to be the issue. Echo Static, thank you for coming online. Welcome, and happy Sunday. God, it's been so long since I did this. What do I set the payload to? I'm trying to remember.
Incoming transmission from E_Boiler.
Euler making it rain with pennies, like I like. What's up? Let's see. Is it I thought it was Linux tab. Let's see. Set payload. For setting the payload, it's not liking that. Yeah. I'm tabbing. It's not working. I was just gonna do this because it was gonna be the easy way. Alright, you know what, we'll just... Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. F me. I think it normally does work, man. I'm probably just missing something because I legit have not used Metasploit probably in 3 years. That's alright. What we'll do is we'll use the exploit multi-handler, and I think we can use that to just generate it real quick. Let's see. This is actually the main thing I ever used it for, was exploit multi-handler. Here. And we look at the options, what we can do. Options. Set lhost to, what is this? 10. There we go. And then I think we need to set payload. Oh, I think the difference is, band, it needs to be lowercase Linux. Yeah. Yes, show all possibilities. What is it? Ah, there we go. x64 interpreter. First TCP. I think that's what I needed to do with it initially. Hold on, before I use the multi-handler, let me see. Set payload. Can I use that same payload here? Yeah, there we go. Alright, I gotta reset my options here. Actually, it already brought in the... Oh, it did. Cool. Wait, hold on. No, that's not what I want to do. That is the incorrect IP address, because we need the IP address that's listening on our VPN. So the problem was, yeah, Egypt hard shells. The problem was, band, it needed to be lowercase payload, because Ruby. Alright. Let's see. But don't control C, that'll maybe set. Password, there we go. Username. Yeah, password, username, and then our host. Nope, that was not right. Our host, there we go. Let's double check the options before we fire this. Yeah, that should work. Exploit. Go. Not a compatible payload. think I can do this though. Options. There we go. Set L host. I'm gonna make this real unzero. There we go. How about doing the reverse search? Yeah, just Control R. Yeah, same as Bash, like Dan was saying. Let's see. What other options do I have here? Run. Exploit. Wait, didn't this... Wouldn't, I thought if you used the payload here, it actually could generate... Generate. There we go. That wasn't what I wanted. I want the buffer. Let's see. I think it's tech F. Yeah, let's look at the help for it. I feel like such a noob because I have not used this in forever. Okay. So let's generate this. What we want is, I think it's output file name. Fine. Output format. Here we go. Where is our normal elf? We just do elf output? ELL. Elf. Yeah, so we want to do tac F elf format. And then tac O. We'll put this in, we'll call this murder.bin. See if it actually dumped it in here. Stock is going to come in here any minute and get me. Okay, so we're going to SCP. Let's see, admin at 2million.htb murder.bin to and then the password. What did I have for the password? Super duper pass. We'll just SCP it up there real fast. What do you mean? You're killing me, Smalls. Do I need to give it like the full path here? Why am I failing so hard? Oh, because I've fucking got the parameters backwards. Killing me, Smalls. MTR. SCP is not broken. My brain is broken. That's what's going on. There we go. All right. So now we can come over here. Let's CD home. LS. Let's see. I'm going to cheat and just do chmod x on mtr.bin. Run mtr.bin. Except, you know what I forgot to do is rename window. Exploit. I totally did not set up the handler for it. Oh wait, yes, I did. Yay, thanks, past me. Let's see. sessions. Interact with number 1. There we go. I did actually, I guess, have... Oh no, when I ran exploit, it actually started up the handler. Otherwise, I would have had multi-handler up here running. Yeah. It's like if I run jobs, I think it's... That was jobs. Is that not the command? Tasks? Oh no, because I'm in meta interpreter. Anyway. But yes, when I ran the exploit to generate it, that's what it did. Let me bust this out. So where's this crazy little Metasploit module? Let's see. Exploit Linux local. All right. Let me background this. So we want to use exploit Linux local. CVE 2023. Is that right? Underscore 20. There we go. Options. Set lhost to 0. Set session 1. All right. Ugh. All right. Exploit. Let's see. Let's see if it worked. Cybersec Wiz, thank you for coming online. Welcome in and happy Sunday. I'm just trying to knock out the stupid privesk on this, even though I know exactly what I need to do on it. Let's see, failed to open fileproc syskernel unprivileged users. What? What? Failed to bind handler. It's because we already had something running on 444. That's it. Let's just... We'll change the 444. There we go. Yeah, see, we already had the exploit multi-handler up and running from that. Just fine. Let's see. No such directory at user share Metasploit. What? It's saying we don't have this C file. Next stream use nothing but Metasploit. I tell you what, just for you guys, I was trying to think of a challenge to do when the stream hits 1,337 followers. If we get to that goal, I will do an entire stream where I'm hacking something and we'll just use nothing but Metasploit. We'll figure out something horrendous to look at. Really? So what the heck is this? That's so weird. It's like trying to reference something that doesn't exist, it says. Oh, I bet it's because it's in a different... The exploit's in there. I'm thinking the path is jacked up. Etsy alternatives MSF console. Where did it... So this is saying it should have been user shared. Let's see. User share. So there's Metasploit framework. So the one it was looking for is user share Metasploit framework external source. Let's see. That is weird. Can I run update while it's actually running? Will that just absolutely BTFO it? That would make me sad. I mean, we can still do it. We can get the shell back real fast. Hang on. Exit. Yeah, exit Y. There we go. Oh yeah, they did get rid of MSF update. So that still doesn't explain why this .c file is not showing up. Yeah, because this was the correct little Metasploit module for it. Yeah, Dan, do we have to just go run our own here? So many null bytes. Let's see. Hold on, before digging into this, they have an explanation of it. Oh, okay, cool. Start your virtual machine with Vagrant exploit. So this virtual machine is provisioned with an exploit merging the different pieces of the proof of concept into a single static binary. This binary creates folders under temp, OVL cap, and starts the fuse file system, which serves as set files, a suid binary. It then calls unshare with mount, copies to the lower suid binary. Finally, it runs the suid. Can we? Can we just run that? Okay. I mean, heck, I'm gonna give it a shot. Raw. Get the rawness. We'll go get it. We'll get it, guys. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Call this privesc.c. Set paste. Not what I wanted to do. Oh, this is from Datadog. Yeah, Cult of the Dead Cow, man. Let's see. And then let me see if I want to. Let's sudo up real quick. I'm gonna SCP this again. Do have that. Okay. And then what we'll do is we will let's call this privesc.bin. Use.h or something. Do I need to go plug down the whole thing? Because oh, I like how he's got that. That'll make it nice and easy. But we're missing something. Fuse.h, no file directory. So we have to get that. Let's see. We can find the we need that actually? Let's see. Yeah. Datadog have it in here. That was gonna be my next question, Dan. Thank you. App install libfuse. So if you didn't know about this, a lot of times when you go install something on your system, a lot of times there is this tac dev option you can do. It downloads all these .h files whenever you do that, so you can get all the headers so you can build code against it. See? Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for coming online. I'm not sure how to say your username, but welcome in. Let's see. All right. Let's try this again. Requires a runtime, shared libraries. I don't care. Alright, so now we should have our POC. So what we'll do now is so tired, but I want to just finish this one real quick. Especially since it's an easy box. I just really want to knock it out. Do we have a magic I win button here? We are now root. Yay. Thank you, Datadog. Let's see. What is that? Hold on, let me go capture this real quick. You are so useful, Dan. Let me copy this out of here real fast. We'll go capture it real quick. Oh, you know what? I didn't even capture the CVE ID. 2023-0386. We'll go. Yay. Alternate Privest Pass. What version of glibc library is on 2 million? That might have been another one I would be tempted to look at it. I'd look at that before I looked at the fuse overlay. How would I rate this one? I don't know. We'll call it a 3. Yeah. Because there is the Metasploit module that in theory should work. Take a look at something here. I want to know what this thank you is. Killing me, Smalls. What is all this? URL encoding. Hold on, I gotta figure this out real quick. Bash. Nail shot it. Thank you for coming online. Welcome in. And happy Sunday or Monday, depending on which part of the world you're in. I gotta look at this real quick. Let's see. URL decode. That. Try this, because let's see if I look at this info here. Encode a URL, and there's our data. So we could probably pull this out with JQ if it's got JQ on it, and then this extra data. Do you do mentorship? I mean, kind of, not directly, but feel free to hop in Discord and ask questions all the time. I answer questions constantly. That's why it says Q&A in the stream title, because I like for folks to come in and ask, and we'll see what's up. And I figure by answering questions, it's going to help out other folks to do it. I don't really have time to take on like any mentors directly right now, because I got wife, kids, full-time job, stuff up at my church. I keep pretty busy. But I do make out time 3 nights a week to come do the streaming and answer questions on here. You don't think the box says JQ? Let me see. Aw. No JQ. That's all right. You know what I want to do though real fast is... Let me look at something real quick. Where's this thankyou.json? Copy thankyou.json to home admin. Let's see. Not. I'm just gonna go download it. I want to do. Don't need Metasploit anymore. Thank you. .json. Wait, hold on. No, this is bad. This is different. Admin at who million. Now I gotta know what this thing is. Now I'm like just dying to know. Copy. I'm just gonna copy it. I'm gonna go throw it over in Cyber Chef real fast. What's your insight on the CompTIA Sec Plus? It's a pretty decent place to get started. A lot of people thought like, oh, I have the Sec Plus, I'm gonna be good to go, right? No, it's a starting part. It's a kind of like a springboard. Dude, we have some ridiculously smart folks that come hang out in the Discord, and so I mean, it's a great place to just chat, hang out, ask questions. I try to keep a close eye on it. I'm not always the quickest at responding, but I do check the messages and see what everybody's up to. All right, copy that too. Went to a root. What that though? What is it? Mousepad? Yeah, mousepad. I can close this. I don't need this anymore. Mousepad. Look you up, Jason. Oh, come on, man. Permissions. Boom, Cali. What is this? You ever got to pen test a bank? Yeah, a couple. I've done physical penetration tests and I've done network pen tests against them, and they could be quite a trip. I did a physical pen test against one time that was really cool, but it was a small bank, and they didn't work with individuals like you would normally see. They worked with primarily like business to business. And so it made it a little bit more challenging trying to kind of get in there and figure out how I was going to do it. So I did actually get into their office. I got an implant set up, but the guy had a standing desk, and so it moved up and down. And so the implant, I was worried his cables were going to be too short, and if he used it in standing, it was going to break. So I moved his desk, and I put it back where I thought he had it, but I assumed incorrectly where he had it. And immediately the guy comes in and notifies security somebody's been in his office because his desk was moved. Stop being so observant, man. Be less observant. Drop this over here. Let's see. URL decode. So then this gives us something else here. Can we actually do JSON parsing in this? Extract information from a JSON object with a JPath query. Oh, really? Query would be, it's going to be data. Hey, look at that. That's awesome. And then it looks like it's hex. So can we hex decode that? Encryption X. Oh my god, you guys. Look at this crap. Like, every one of these is just different layers of obfuscation. Killing me. All right, encryption key is HackTheBox. Encoding base 64. So now, freaking trolls, man. Not someone get into pen testing. I want to get good at it. Like I want to be one of the best. I want to be able to crack anything. So it depends. Actually, I tell people you should probably work in security before you go into offensive security. And the reason for that is because offensive security sounds really cool. It is a job, though. It has its own downsides. There's report writing to it. There's interacting with customers. There's managing your time effectively whenever you're going through the pen test and understanding that life cycle of exploiting, enumeration, reconnaissance, everything that goes into that. Not in that order. I screwed up the order. And so my recommendation is find folks near you that might already have that experience if you can, and go talk to them about it. There's parts about the job that really suck, like writing reports. That's something that a lot of people don't realize how important it is. because it's just not talked about. It's not the sexy part, right? The sexy part is, oh yeah, cool, I hacked into the bank. The less sexy part is I spent 30 minutes trying to fix the formatting in my Word document. That's the part that sucks. So it does have its downsides to it. Don't get me wrong. Another one is it is a constant learning. And if you don't keep something called, what I affectionately call shiny thing syndrome in check, then you will completely go off onto different paths and you're never going to become really good at any one thing. Security encompasses every area of information technology. And then beyond that, really, because we also have physical boundaries, right? I would do physical pen tests in the past and worked on, didn't even do anything super special. It's just I observed, I figured out where certain blind spots were, where things got missed, and a lot of times that was all I needed to go get into places. I'm not doing James Bond or Mission Impossible type shit. I'm just going in and using the humans against themselves and their patterns. Got swear jar. Dang it, it's up to 41, man. I'm thinking about working at Best Buy while I continue my ethical hacking and pen testing. Dude, that's a great idea too. Because yeah, you can learn a lot more if you like just up and bail on your job and you don't worry about it. But really what you need is you need some income, something to kind of keep you going and enjoy it. If you really like offensive security, then one of the best ways to get into it, like I said, is networking with folks. You go talk to them. You get to know folks that are already in that industry. And really in the beginning, when you're first trying to break in, certifications will kind of account for about 80% of your getting your foot in the door. The other 20% is like work output, like things you've done on your personal GitHub, a blog, stuff you've done up on your social media that you can tie to your resume where you're showing like, hey, I'm learning, I'm progressing, this is really awesome stuff. And it goes to kind of showing what you're doing and how you're approaching things, which is usually the big things when you're hiring for like a junior penetration tester you're looking at. And then beyond that, it kind of shifts. Once you're already in penetration testing, certs start going way down in their importance, and your experience and the way you approach problems starts going way up. Eventually you get to a point where I'm at, and certifications maybe account for 20% at most of what I'm doing. 80% is my experience and my work output and my understanding of the process, working with customers, making good deliverables. I always tell people that I hack for free and I charge for the report. That's what I do. All right. So I need to extract data, dbase 64, and then XOR it. Ugh. Guys, these freaking guys. JPath, get data, and then from base 60. No, that's not the one I want. How do I get rid of that? Yeah. Let's see. My cut. My last onsite, I went to the bank and told the cleaning staff I left my badge. I needed to grab it, and they let me run around. Yeah, exactly. Let me see. How do I cut this out? I need to cut out the quotes here. Can I delimit this? To base 85? I mean, that's two base 64. That's not what I want. I want base 64. And then I need to XOR that. And I think the XOR key was HackTheBox. That. Okay, so that actually did work. Hold on. I need to come back up to stable up. Just move back up a bit. Encryption key was HackTheBox. So we want to do the JPath expression, base 64. Cascade. Come on, I'm so close on this. I want to know what this thank you is. I'm dying to know. So type is XOR. Encryption key is HackTheBox. What am I doing wrong here? That's what I was thinking, but this says, according to this, we should be removing non-alpha characters. See that? Output into... Yeah, so this should be removing the those characters right there. So remove non-alphabet characters, and then XOR. XOR brute force? Okay, that's pretty funny. Oh, it's because this shouldn't... Because it's expecting this in hex. Hold on. It's not hex. Hold on, let me take this back out. Where's this XOR brute force? Fake? No, that didn't work. I'm gonna have to go convert HackTheBox to hex. Would you only let me do hex in here? Let me see if I can get this to work. This is so annoying. I can't believe how much time I wasted on this. Dear HackTheBox community, we're thrilled to announce a momentous milestone in our journey together. With the immense joy and gratitude, we celebrate the achievement of reaching 2 million remarkable users. This incredible feat would not have been possible without each and every one of you. From the very beginning, HackTheBox has been built upon the belief that knowledge sharing, collaboration, and hands-on experience are fundamental to personal and professional growth. Yes. Okay. Now I can go to bed. Freaking HackTheBox. I have no idea how Hackbot would even handle this. So actually, there was an ulterior motive to doing this one that I chose tonight. I wanted to get an idea of like some other system that Hackbot would have to go look at and try to figure out. And I have no idea how Hackbot would handle that. But we'll figure it out eventually. All right, let's go see if anybody's over on InfoSec streams. No, they are not. Let's see. Who else do we have? By the way, if you have a raid suggestion over on the Twitch side, please shout them out. Let's see who we've got over here on right now. So being a lube, God, I'm bait. So being a noob at learning about hacking, would you say using HackTheBox would help me learn, would help you learn starting from scratch? Probably not HackTheBox directly. Now, take that back. HackTheBox does have an academy where you can go through and you can learn, similar to kind of like Try Hack Me. A couple of the guys in here have actually been liking something like Cyber Mentor. Tyler Ramsby has his own course he just put out. If you're, you can follow him over on YouTube, but he's also Hack Smarter here on Twitch. And he's just put out his like introductory pen testing course. That would be another good one to go get to, and he doesn't charge a lot for that course. So I'd say those are some other like valid options you've got in there. Hey, Aqua, what's up, man? Unfortunately, we were just about to end the stream, Aqua. I apologize. Because I had to finish up a test. Oh, crap. It's almost midnight. My wife is going to be mad. I thought you were going to bed early. Like, honey, the hacks can't stop. We cannot stop. We just stop the hacks. Let's see. Who's in... What do we got going on over in Science and Tech right now? I don't think we have a lot going on right now. Their academy is good but super expensive, but I recommend try Hack Me. Yeah, that's kind of what I was leaning towards, Dan. And that's why I was doing it with Salty whenever, a long time ago, we were doing that on stream. My buddy Salty, I was teaching him kind of like introductory hacking. And so we were using Try Hack Me for that. Nothing. See, Braithwaite was on, but he's doing Legend of Zelda tonight. Who's over in software and game dev right now? Self-coding stream, AI VTuber. Oh, Tyler Ramsby here. Oh, AKA Hack Smarter. This fella. Oh, yeah, we did do 2 million today. And we're having a lot of fun with that. In fact, let me go make a note of that. Two. Save that. But yeah, we were just going through 2 million, of course, with lots of side quests and answering questions for folks. Yeah, he's a great guy. I talk to him fairly regularly, and he has. Let me see if I can find it real quick while I'm looking at it. Let's see. Is he? I don't think his course is up here. Let's see. Cat courses.txt. Yeah, he does all of his stuff over on Simply Cyber. So you can go over to simplycyber.io, and all of his courses are up here. So he has hands-on phishing, which is he just released, intro to AWS, and also introductory hacking methodology. So I like the dude. He's a really smart guy. Did I take notes while solving the box? I did not, Aqua. I don't usually do capture the flag boxes during the stream, but tonight I made an exception. We were just kind of chilling out for this tonight. Usually I'm working on building a little AI agent to play CTFs. That's what we've been working on lately. But I didn't get to stream last night. I was not feeling great. And then today I'm brain fried from spending all day taking care of kiddos up at my church while we were having a big 4th of July party. So I thought we're just going to chill out tonight. We're going to work on a little bit of Hack the Box and just have a fun night. Are you doing the AWS one right now? Nice. I need to get back on my Azure grind because I was doing a lot of Azure exploitation stuff. Jeez, who do we have? We might just do a DJ raid. Yeah, Bex from Chicago's on. I think that's what we're going to do. If it's so late, we're going to DJ this up. All right, guys. Unfortunately, that's where I've got to wrap it up because I am baked. And we went an hour over the stream. My wife's already going to be pissed at me. But thank you all for coming to hang out. I'm going to try and get an extra stream night in this week since we missed Saturday. Maybe we'll do some more fun stuff before we hit back to Hackbot Dev next weekend. It's 1 a.m. here in the East. I know, dude. It's already midnight here. So, everyone, have a fantastic week coming up. And for those of you who have started your week, start it really strong. I have faith in you. Keep going after it. The week is just starting. I want you to have a case of the absolute crushing it and have a fantastic week. And also, keep in mind, everybody struggles. Everyone's got trouble. That is just a part of life, and it's how you handle it that matters. Not the struggles that you run into, but how you handle those struggles. And very importantly, I want y'all to remember one other thing, and that is, I love you. Peace.